Here recently, in the past couple of sessions, we have started the newest sort of arc. We are in the second semester of Ura Lumis's school year. You guys, after you hit level 4 and finished the party games, finished out the semester, went on Christmas break, or not Christmas break, but winter break. Did your various things. Right? Is Jesus real? So you guys went on and went over Christmas break and came back to the new school year to a couple of interesting things. The Church of Parhan had a couple members here. Kieran had been missing for a while, and they were actually looking for him. And you guys got sent out on your first actual mission. That mission was pretty much, you went to the city of Brooklyn, which is not very far from the school at all. They were having some weird sounds and lights coming from across the lake that they were built on. You guys went and investigated. There was a big illusory dragon that was there, and you guys got to the bottom of it, found out that it was a little baby dragon that you guys brought back with you, protecting the skeleton of an adult dragon that had been killed, a little more than a decade ago. You guys killed some bugbears really, really easily. I need to start upping the difficulty of these combats. Brought the baby dragon back to the school, had a professor go and fetch the dragon's skeleton, and it is now posted up on the North Tower at school. Since then, you guys have done a little bit of looking around campus, investigating the Church of Parhan, in which you guys actually got told that, with your approval, you were going to get a new member, who was Ava. She is currently here with the Church of Parhan, so there's a weird disconnect on how are you attending the school if you're here visiting from a different nation. But that's not for me to say and decide out loud. So we will just leave it there and see how Ava describes that situation, or how you guys think about it. But, anyone else have any things to add to that, or did I do a good job? I don't think I did.
You did a great job.
Marcel, it's awesome.
That is true. Oh, forgetting a couple of key aspects of the last session. First thing, for Gwen, Professor Ranth said that she would do some studying and seeing if she couldn't recreate a sort of bond between Gwen and this baby dragon, kind of similar to that of a magical familiar or a ranger's beast companion. So that might be happening soon, but we're not quite sure when. It's just going to take a little bit of effort to set up and perform. We got Leo, who did a little prayer ritual as a sort of storm was rolling into school's campus, who you guys saw his little pendant floating off the ground a little bit whenever Gwen threw a tomato at him and then ran away. And then the only other thing I can think of off the top of my head is that Rosaries was specifically intrigued by this magic item sale that was listed on the school's calendar coming up. There was a little bit of confusion about, what was causing this magic item sale. Why is it happening now? Maybe we'll get to that this session. Who knows? All right. Last we left off, you guys were spying on Ava through her bedroom window. Totally not creepy. Athera was the squirrel. Gwen wanted a sucker from Grace. It was, a lot of weird stuff. I don't want to go too far into detail for worry of my own sanity. But I'm going to say that
sound dirty.
It was a little weird.
We're in college. We get to look it up. No excuse.
Anyway, so that night ends.
It's Athera's fault.
It was Athera's fault. We can blame Natalie while she stepped away. So you guys go to bed that night, departing from the group. Ava's left in the sort of visitor guest building, and then the rest of you file out. The next day comes up. You guys go about your classes like normal. I think today would be Tuesday for you guys, if I remember correctly. I could be tripping on that, but you guys get up, you go to class, and I'll let you guys take it from there and tell me what you guys are doing throughout the week.
Marcel would put up another sign on a tree. And even though he knows that Kieran is gone, he will make sure it says Kieran ran away. He wants to do this again. He wants to, cover all his pages just in case.
I love that.
He will accept the invitation for Rosarius about the whole training thing. So he's going to go around and start saying, "Hey, you want to watch it train?" So he'd go to some of his warlock friends like Talon. And he also put open some invites for maybe other members like Leo and Ava, because like, "Hey, but you're in the group, you want to watch this?" But then it's like they're like, "Hey, you can't get in here. This is still locked down." It's like, "Oh, can you tell Ava to join in the fun?" Okay,
yeah, they pass the message along. Ava actually, I'm gonna say for the most part of the day, has like tasks around the school with the church where you are supposed to be helping like recruit people, give information. It's mostly just kind of like following Grace, Zane, or Brooke around. They are the three like leaders that are there, and you guys are tasked to just like help them with whatever they need. But yeah, the message just passed along. Rosarius hosts this training thing that is sort of like taken off in the past semester. How often is that? And I would ask, I know Rosarius trains daily, but how often is like the big group thing happening?
I think the big group thing would probably be like 1 or 2 times a week, with the goal of like, then we all go do our individual training throughout the rest of the week and then come back together and like, "Oh, hey, I found this out while I was training." Let's show each other so we can all like improve each other, basically.
Yeah, sick. Do you have any specific days, or just kind of?
Probably Tuesday and Thursday, just because I'm trying to stay away from the weekends as much as possible.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, so you guys will have a training session today. Marcel sends out some invites. I like it.
Marcel buys some stuff of ingredients so he can make more of his whiskey, Marcel brand. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good way going beyond the whole studying and books.
Yeah. Speaking of, I have created mechanics for all of the tool sets, which you are free to absolutely use. They have like the gold cost and the time it takes to brew and how much you can sell that for just on average. So behind the scenes, Marcel, you can easily be working on that, making some gold during your downtime. Just kind of use that as a good gauge of, how much you're making in like a week or a couple of days or however much it is.
It's not the tuition that's killing me, it's the books.
Leo, you had this kind of like pseudo-religious experience the previous night. You know that Rosarius' training session is today. What about you? You get up, you go to class like normal. How are you feeling? What are you thinking? And do you do anything specific other than just showing up to training, I guess, if you go?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to training. I think Leo would mostly he's going to be praying harder, I think, at this point after what happened and the last one, and plotting revenge against Gwen.
Absolutely. Non-violent, non-murderous revenge, but
of course,
revenge nonetheless. Yeah. So yeah, you guys go through the day going to your classes. Just to break some of these down for you guys, let me pull up all of your notes on where you guys take classes. So we have like Athera, who goes to her druid classes with Professor Mineo mostly. Still has wild shape and magic classes and stuff like that. Gwen, you go to all of your ranger classes with Professor Ron, Professor Rance. You have cooking with Mineo again.
Oh, no.
Hey, this is cooking too.
Yeah.
And that
is glowing.
Can I spoil that last class that you're taking? I think you've already said it. Goblin. You're taking the Goblin language class. Yeah. So you have Professor Gilnick. She is a weirdo, but I'm assuming that Gwen would love her.
Probably.
Let's see. Skip. Marcel, you're going around. You're taking some Warlock classes with Professor Talanch, obviously. Again, gives a lot of homework. There's a lot of writing, but you're learning a lot about this Warlock stuff, which previously no knowledge about. So it kind of helps. You also have like some magic and weapon training classes with Professor Malik, Professor Hargor. They're all fun. And then Rosari's, oh my God, I opened it up and I have all 4 years for you planned out. I blame you for this. Yeah. Zach is, you get A's in all your classes, not because Rosari's a smart, but because you turn everything in on time. You have your paladin classes with Tirada. You have your great weapon fighting with Hargor, which actually overlaps with Marcel. You guys are taking the great weapon fighting class together. And then you also have some other classes, psychology with Chase Green, very nice, chill guy, and well-rounded fighting with Etrelval, who is, I think you guys saw her at the party games. She is basically a coach. She is super energetic and aggressive, but so positive and so supporting. She's also very terrifying and could kick your ass in her sleep. All that being said, you guys go throughout your classes through the day, running between different parts of campus, seeing all of your friends, quickly passing by. You guys go and eat lunch. Lucian even sees you guys a couple of times and just tells you that like he has too much homework. Professor Barron is like considering him for a planar studies class, which he really, really wants. And he's got to pull good grades for that. He can't make any mess ups. But the day comes and goes. I'm going to say classes end before Rosari's training session. Is there anything you guys do around campus, or are we just skipping straight to that?
We can skip to that.
All right. Don't threaten me with a good time. All right. Here's the
music turns.
Yeah, I don't like the music for the music.
dun-dun-dun.
It's not that serious, bro.
It's fun. Let me pull up the battle map. No,
Not that deep, homie.
it is that deep. All right. So Rosari's.
BBG the whole time.
No, guys, what's our
Rosari's, you started this training session last semester, and since then people have sort of like tacked on when they can and joined, but you have a consistent group so far. A couple of the party members attend. I think Leo, you said you were going. Marcel said you were going. Anyone else in the party like show up to these training sessions fairly often? I know Athera and Gwen, you both showed up like once. Do you continue that?
I would say Gwen probably goes at least once a week.
I probably show up like once every other week.
The question is, Ava, your job thing, it's much like a normal job. Like they're not going to ask you to be on duty all day. You get some free time. With that being said, Rosari's, Marcel, you guys slid along, or Marcel slid along the invitation, right?
Yeah.
Ava, in your free time, would you investigate and show up to this sort of like training thing that Marcel said that you could come to?
Definitely.
For sure. So the training comes around, the time starts, and we have Rosari's, Leo, and Marcel there, obviously. Ava is there. Gwen or Athera, you guys showing up or not your day?
Sure. I'll be there watching.
Cool. It is the first meeting after a big mission, so there's probably some debriefing
Yeah.
needing to
I'm
happen.
still kind of like aching from the last battle, but it's good to watch.
Yeah. So full party, save Lucian. He wishes you guys the best of luck and says, I got to go do homework. Otherwise, I will, hate myself for not getting it done the day it was assigned. Some other NPCs show up. I'll just list them out and remind you guys who they are. We have Lasilda, who is another first-year paladin, friend of Leo, and a little bit of a love triangle first semester. But hey, that's past now. She regularly shows up, but she is actually not there today. She didn't give you guys any heads up. She's just not there. Beatrice is, though, who's another first-year paladin, along with Jeremiah. And then you also have Asta, who is a first-year barbarian woman. She is a human, pretty buff, fairly lean, but like pretty strong. And then Balon, who is a first-year fighter. You guys know him. He's a member of the Church of Parhan. He had a discussion with Rosari's first semester, I believe. And then you also have some upperclassmen who show up. You have Echo, who is the, pun intended, Echo Knight fighter. You have Taz, who shows up today alongside Echo. You have John Luke, who shows up. And you also have a couple of new faces that you guys don't quite recognize. So I'm going to change our view so that we can see the roll 20.
Guys, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Or more third years and first years. We're dead.
Got this.
In training.
I'll give you guys the brief introduction for like who you see walk into the room. You guys would probably recognize their names. It's a small school. The first one is an upperclassman named Reggio. He is a little taller, a little thinner. He's got like sort of like that wavy, messy blonde hair. He's an upperclassman who kind of gives you guys like almost like a weird vibe about him. I don't know how to describe it. You guys just, something stands out.
Marcel will turn his head to Leo. He uses my hair products.
Expensive ones.
All of them are expensive. It's Marcel.
Good.
There is Oraman, who is a upperclassman barbarian. He's bald. He looks like a jock. I don't know how best to describe him. A familiar face would be Christina. You guys know her from the religious club. She is an upperclassman, like paladin cleric person. She runs the religious club and is very, very sweet, very helpful to people. And then the last one, surprising you guys, is a member of the Orda Arcana, the like nerd club on campus that studies magic and is primarily composed of wizards. Galadier. He shows up. He's this like deep blue-skinned elf with like this dark purplish blue hair. Very thin, not wearing any armor, very wizard-esque. So they kind of show up and surprise you guys a little bit. The upperclassmen are over talking in a corner as you guys are getting set up, and I'll let you guys sort of take over the scene from there. But the first year sort of congregate together, your party comes up, and then like Beatrice, Jeremiah, and Balon all walk up, and Beatrice leading the group. She's like, all right, guys, we ready for another fun day of training?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But, you know, we have to...
We're gonna get our asses stomped.
Okay.
Oh, are you talking about the third years? I don't know what they're doing. They don't seem to be I mean, they might be here for the training, but they're not like coming over to us and helping guide us right now. So I'm assuming they have their own plans. I don't know.
Yeah, perfect.
That's no fun. Then I'll go talk to Echo, see what they're doing.
Sure. Rosaris, you walk over and talk to Echo, who's sitting there, arms crossed, talking to Taz. You approach in their conversation, and Taz sort of like stops talking and gives a nod, and Echo turns around to you, and she says, "Hey, what's up?"
We were wondering what y'all were doing, see if we could do a combined training.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. I don't know if we will today, though. So I was talking to Taz, and he showed up to this training a couple times. The Church of Parhan people, they're going to send a representative over to watch us train, and that's going to be sort of like apparently Taz is saying that it's like a good way for us to make a good impression in case we want to get hired by them. And you see Taz, who is like just a couple feet away, he, pipes up and he says, "Yeah, if there's anything that we're here for, it's to make sure that we get like a steady job, right? I figured it doesn't hurt to start out on a good foot. I could use the money."
Yeah. Well, good luck to both of you. If y'all need any help, just let us know.
They both kind of chuckle a little bit and go back to talking to the other third years. You return to the first years, and at this point, those Church of Parhan people do show up. Ava, you and Grace walk through the door. Grace, this tall, slender, gorgeous, sun-kissed elf. And then you walking right behind her, just like a little bit shorter, your dark red hair contrasting her bright blonde hair, your pale skin contrasting her tan skin. You guys walk in along with like one or two more people who are just going to be there to watch. You show up and you see the party that you are supposed to be a member of. I'm also going to say that you guys notice her come in. So how does it play out from here?
Well, Marcel was over like waving and like yelling, Ava, over here. Look, it's me, Marcel, your friend.
I think as soon as Rosario sees Ava and Grace walk in, he'll edge closer to Leo and kind of stand in between them. Nothing like taking a stance or anything, just like acting like I'm talking to him.
Well, we're not talking.
No, I'm keeping my something.
Ava, Grace sort of motions to you, and she has like a sort of soft, polite smile on her face, and she says, I think you've made some friends at the school.
I hope, yeah.
Well, by all means, you're free to engage and report back. Tell us how they do.
Thank you. And she'll run over there.
Yeah, she gives you a little tap on your back, and you head over to the party.
Marcel like gives him a high five. Yeah.
She'll slowly give a high five.
Awesome. See, guys, best friend material. We're all friends here now.
Welcome back, Ava. Thank you, Len. I'm excited to see what you all can do.
So, are we fighting the third years?
No, we're not good enough to put on a show for him.
Leo, you look over as you ask that question, and you see Echo, Taz, John, Reggio, Orman, and Christina and Galadir all like splitting up into two teams, and they are getting ready to start sparring with each other. Like, this is a big enough sparring room where there's enough room for like 3 or 4 groups at the same time, but they are like tightening their armor, drawing their weapons, and getting ready to start like, 45 or 50 feet away from you.
In fact, Leo, we might want to move a little bit further this way.
All right,
Like,
move below
edge away from the third years.
As
Watch them for a second. Pick up some
You're just standing there, like, staring at him.
Sarah's Leo.
Marcel's like, that guy has a bunch of muscles. Look at him.
Absolutely.
Like a farm.
Leo, since you brought it up, I will give you sort of like a breakdown of who all these people are and what they do. So Echo. She is able to create that like duplicate of herself. She dual wields swords. One of them she sets like alight with fire. According to the last training session, this time both of them are on fire. It looks like she is not holding back anymore. Marcel, can you give me an Arcana check, por favor?
See. All right. Quick, what am I doing here? Okay. Arcana. Yes, my best skill ever.
Your best skill.
I got a 19.
Ooh, that's pretty good. It hasn't happened in a minute, but that last time that you guys were training, you clashed swords with Echo, and you felt something come from Jacques. That same sort of feeling starts reverberating through Jacques again as he like kind of starts almost like tremoring a little bit, shaking just a bit, and you can feel something in this sword that you have like urging you.
I go towards Leo.
Think so. Myself.
I think my sword is going through puberty.
I'm sorry, what?
It's trembling. It's doing stuff that I didn't expect it does beforehand. It's getting powers that wasn't there before. I think it's going through puberty.
Myself, I don't know what to say to you right now.
I don't know how to handle this. I never dealt with a child who goes through puberty.
Right.
I mean,
I understand. How did you deal with puberty yourself, Marcel?
I like try to let it flow naturally and such. But it's my sword. It's like a little more awkward. That's going.
Maybe you should just let it.
The powers might go a little off prematurely, and that's just like not what I hope.
It's all part of learning.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah, you know what? It's yeah. I thank you, Leo. I'm really grateful for your insight.
Just aim it away from me.
Okay. Continuing on. For any of you watching, you guys watch as Echo draws her 2 swords. They both activate, and like orangish red fire covers them. She immediately charges at Taz, who blocks one sword with his shield, blocks the other with his sword, and then like smacks her with his shield really quickly. She like recoils a little bit, tightens up, and then they just keep going back and forth and sparring. John Luke brandishes his sword and shield and says, "Ha ha!" and then goes straight for the biggest guy there, Orman, who has like a war hammer. Orman slams it down and it like reverberates against John's shield and like lets out this loud metallic clang throughout the hall. Christina and Galadier sort of like fist bump each other. Galadier also draws two like thin, long, short swords. And you guys watch as he almost like begins tiptoeing and moving very quickly and dancing around Reggio and Christina, and all three of them begin fighting each other. I know I said long, short swords. They're like thin and I'm not going to use any other adjectives for that. It's going to be even worse than what Marcel just said. But you get the idea. They're very slender swords. So the three of them start interlocking, and you guys watch as Galadier like weaves some magic into his spell attack or like his weapon attacks and stuff like that. Christina, obviously being a paladin and cleric, she like drops a smite on Reggio, who takes it and sort of smiles, and then like steps back up, getting that second wind in him, and returns back attacking them. So all of them are going crazy. That fight breaks out, and it is chaos from the moment it starts. You guys are 50 feet away just watching with your jaws dropped, and you guys all see Grace sort of like looking at them very intently and studying how they fight.
I don't think I like that Grace. Something's off about her.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a feeling.
Well, maybe you're going through puberty too.
It's possible.
All right, we'll probably we're done watching, right? So let's just go ahead and get started with our own training.
Oh, if you're
We'll race later.
Yeah.
Beatrice looks at you guys, and they're like taking some steps back, watching. She looks over at Jeremiah, and she's like, "Dude, we would die." And Jeremiah is like shaking in his boots. He said, "I know, that looks scary." But Asta and Balon are already like getting ready. Balon's like adjusting some of his armor, and he looks at you guys and he says, "Yeah, come on. I want to make a good impression here. I don't feel like I need to, but I'd like to at least prove it to myself."
One hasn't heard a single word that's been spoken, and she's just been eating some like random food from her bag while watching the upperclassmen.
Yeah, Gwen is over there leaning on a post eating snacks as you guys walk away. You just leave her there. But Balon does call out to you guys, and he's like, "All right, come on. Let's not waste any time. I have other things to do tonight."
Alrighty, Marcel marches on.
Balon steps up, and he looks at you, and he says, "Mano on mano?"
Sure, let's try that.
Cool. I will let you guys go ahead and start fighting. Go ahead and just give me an attack roll. We don't need to make every single mechanical part of the fight. We'll just see sort of how this goes.
That'll be a 14.
14. You and Balon start going back and forth, and you immediately notice that Balon is like much more classically trained than you. You start like doing a couple of swings with your sword and attacking at him, and he is almost like reading your movements, blocking and then striking you, not lethally obviously, but like it kind of hurts. He hits you in the ribs, he gets a smack like against your shoulder, and it's very clear that he's like not intentionally hurting you very much, but he is controlling the fight.
Yeah, it's like it's like tag football part.
Yeah. For the rest of you, who are you guys like pairing up with anybody? You guys starting like a bigger team thing? What are we doing?
Oh fuck, are we fighting?
You can continue watching if you want.
Yeah, you can stay in the background.
No, I'll fight.
I'm gonna stay in the back and just heal if somebody gets hurt.
All right, Leo takes a step back. We got the rest of you guys up there. Beatrice, Jeremiah, and Asta all look at each other, kind of shrug, and then start preparing their weapons. and Beatrice is like, Rosaries, you and I, we fight plenty. I want to fight somebody else. Who's the new girl? And she points at Ava.
Oh, this is our potential new party member, Ava. She's from the Church of Parhan.
Nice.
He's pretty cool.
Gwen like cocks her head and looks at you. She sets her great sword into her left hand and reaches out to shake her hand. She's like, "Hi, I'm Beatrice.
She'll shake her hand too.
Nice to meet you. Hey, do you want to fight?"
I would love to, but I don't have anything on me.
Oh, she points over at like a sort of an array of tables and dressers with like training armor and weapons and stuff, and she's like, "Just use one of those. That's what we typically use anyway. It's better than sharpened swords and stuff, so it's not lethal." She's like, "Here, I'll show you."
Grace and kind of nervously like rub her neck.
Grace is not paying attention to your group at all. She is watching the third years.
Let's do this quick.
Sure, yeah, come on. And she guides you over to the tables and starts getting you kitted up. Again, the rest of you, Jeremiah and Asta, are still there, and they're looking at each other, and they're looking at you guys, and they're like, "Do you guys just want to do a sort of team thing? We could do that."
Sure. Glenn, do you want to do your usual thing and fire arrows randomly at us? Or do you want to be a part of a team this time?
I can be part of a team this time.
I sense improvement. Ah, well, that was on purpose.
You know what? Jeremiah, you'll be on my team. We'll fight them 3.
Okay, yeah, sure. I can use that dagger that you made me.
Yeah. You might want to use a bigger weapon because, and I point at Asta's weapon, she's not going to use a small one.
Gwen, Asta walks over to you and she like, you're already tall and she like matches your size with just a little bit more muscle, and she's like, "Are you going to be stuck using that bow?"
Yep. Unless you want me to breathe lightning.
That might help. Either way, I can charge in. I'll start swinging. You just hit them when you can, I guess. She takes off a great hammer from her back, and it slams into the ground, and like the wood creaks underneath it. She's like, "All right, whenever you're ready." She looks over to you guys at Rosaries and Jeremiah.
Natalie, or out there, were you here?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm standing over with Leo watching.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Well, Jeremiah, let's go.
He takes his longsword into both hands. He charges in. Everybody give me attack rolls. Gwen and Rosaries. And then also, Ava, you will be paired up with Beatrice. Go ahead and give me an attack roll as well. Jeremiah got a 21.
I also got a 21.
Sick. Gwen, Asta got a nat 1.
I got a 14.
Cool. This one plays out very easily. Rosaries, you and Jeremiah have been in training classes together. You sort of know how each other fight. You guys watch Asta charge forward and Gwen stay back a little bit, and then you guys immediately swarm her on both sides, and where she focuses one, the other one starts getting hits in, and as soon as she turns, you guys like start blocking and playing defensively. Asta gets swarmed essentially and immediately brought to her knees and stops. Gwen, you're taking shots if you want, but nothing's going to stop Rosaries and Jeremiah from just overwhelming your teammate.
Okay.
Ava, what was that attack roll? What'd you get?
I got a 12.
12. Let's see what Beatrice gets. She's pretty good at this.
Not 20.
No, I rolled a 10 for a 16. You guys start fighting, and it seems like something about this school, these people aren't as like what you would deem classically trained, like in a proper organization with a lot of money and funding. But something here works because Beatrice, with a great sword, is outperforming you with, what is your weapon of choice in this matter?
She has a rapier.
Cool. So yeah, you're trying to work on speed, and it seems like Beatrice is just able to sort of like see where you're trying to move and just play just defensive enough to not let you get an opening. So she is in all essence, winning, but not taking a bunch of heavy hits on you. Seems like she might be taking it a little easy. Marcel, you are over there tied up into a little fight with Balon. Balon is winning at the moment. Do you guys just keep going? What do you do?
Yeah, Marcel is doing everything he can not to use any of his warlock tricks because it's just a normal fight between, to help him with his sword.
For sure. Go ahead and give me one more attack roll. We'll do one more round of this.
Yeah. Yes. A staggering 9.
He got a 22. I'm rolling pretty decently.
Marshall versus Warlock explain.
Yeah. It does feel like you're a little bit outclassed. You are getting, some good conditioning in. You're taking some hits, but Balon is like blocking your attacks most of the time. You're getting a couple good ones in. He's smacking you, and he like mutters to you in between attacks, and he's like, "Your warlocks are not made for this, are they?"
You are partially correct, but I still have the heart to do it.
I can appreciate that.
We treat it like a sword.
He smiles a little bit and he's like, "Well, I hope you understand that I'm in it to win." And he's gonna like use his action surge ability. He makes one attack that you block, and he spends his other one knocking you to the ground and like holds his sword out towards you, effectively winning this little sparring match.
Good fight, man.
He helps you up, pats you on the back, and you see as he looks over to the Church of Parhan people. Grace isn't paying attention, but the other ones are looking over here. Next up, we have Rosaries with Jeremiah and Gwen with Asta. Asta was brought down. She is struggling a lot, but I will let you guys go ahead and like tell me what you want to do, make a roll for it, and see how it pans out for you guys.
Glenn, if you want to go first, because I set up the most unbalanced 2v2 possible.
I guess I'll try to position myself for breath weapon and use that.
Sure. Here's what I'm going to say. Go ahead. You don't need to make a roll for it, but Rosaries, you can make a roll. Jeremiah also made a roll, but I will not tell you what the results are yet.
Is that a
Dexterity?
dexterity? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your dex save, but also if you're like still attacking Asta, make that attack roll as well.
Okay. I got a 10 on the dex save. Good old -1. And then nat 20 on my attack roll.
Damn. So here's kind of how this pans out. Jeremiah got a 19 on his attack roll, not natural 19, modified 19. Asta got a natural 20 as well. So Asta immediately, like after getting knocked to the ground by you guys, gets her sword or her hammer and like blocks y'all's attacks and then pushes you out of the way right into Gwen's breath weapon, which if you want to roll damage for that, you can, just to see how hard it hits, but we're not doing like HP calculations and stuff like that. Jeremiah fails his dex save. He is not very dexterous a lot. It's enough to do some damage. After that, you guys immediately sort of start charging back and forth, and Rosaries, you and Asta are just tied to each other. You are a little bit faster, a little bit more technical, and she is just really strong. Gwen, right after that, it looks like Jeremiah is coming after you, but not making an attack this round. But we'll move on from there to Ava and Beatrice. So Beatrice is winning. She is taking it a little easy on you. She is not hitting you very hard, but clearly like owning the fight. What are you doing? How do you respond?
I'm gonna try harder.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah, she's gonna try maybe a different tactic to try and hit her, or do something unexpected.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I'll let you make the roll first, and then tell me based on that what you choose to do.
Okay. Oh, can't feel now. 22.
That's pretty good. Let me roll for Beatrice. You beat her by a wide margin. So how do you adapt to this? Beatrice is using a great sword. She's a little slower. but she's very, very strong and playing a little defensively against you. What do you do to sort of like subvert that and end up, I guess, winning this round?
I think she's kind of sliding like around her, kind of dancing around her pretty much. Maybe doing some ducking and like just moves that would throw her off, like a dance. And then just kind of coming at her from behind, I guess.
For sure. So Beatrice goes to take a big swing with her greatsword, and you kind of like starting to understand her fighting style now. You like duck and roll under it, smack at her with your rapier, and then like almost spin behind her back and then hold it up to her as she's prepping her greatsword up to her neck, and you guys stop. And she just smiles at it, and she was like, "Oh my God, you did it! That was so much better."
Thanks for going easy on me.
She high fives you and says, "A little bit, maybe. I won't confirm or deny." Marcel, Balon helps you up. Do you guys want to continue just sparring for fun or kind of tagging out?
Marcel will definitely for fun.
Cool. So you guys keep going back and forth. We'll do one more round of this Rosari's, Gwen, and Jeremiah and Asta. I'm going to say both of you go ahead and roll your attack rolls, and we'll base it on y'all's and not the NPCs. And then whoever wins can sort of tell us how their group takes over and wins the sparring.
I got a 22.
Got a 14 again.
Damn. All right, Zach. Rosari's and Jeremiah are currently not working together as much. You were fighting Asta sort of like tied neck and neck, going back and forth, and then Jeremiah was going towards Gwen. I'll let you tell me sort of like how that plays out and how you guys end up winning this round.
I think Jeremiah and Rosari's had the idea of Asta is really hard to control, but she's also like, she's hard to control on her, like she can't control herself. So I'm trying to struggle against her, and then Jeremiah is positioning Gwen just right, and then I basically release my hold on Asta, and Asta just bulldozes into Gwen and knocks him over.
Yeah, you use some.
It's like Gwen is holding her own against Jeremiah, and then Asta just stumbles into it.
Yeah, you use some clever positioning and moving around. Jeremiah starts distracting Gwen. You're distracting Asta, and then right at the perfect moment, Asta goes to take a big leaping swing at you, and you dodge out of the way right as Gwen's backing up, and they just tumble into each other and fall. And then you guys sort of like, you know, make them tag, and they're down. Yeah, you guys continue sparring for a little bit. You know, these training sessions probably last for at least an hour, so you guys keep going back and forth with these NPCs, training and practicing. By the end of it, you know, the upperclassmen have finished by this point. They did all they need to sort of show off, and then obviously Grace was done watching them. So as you guys are wrapping up, Grace walks back over to your group and to Ava and says, "Yeah, seems like you guys did pretty good. Ava, did you, you know, have fun? I know you don't get to turn loose very often."
I had a lot of fun.
Great. She looks at Beatrice and introduces herself. Beatrice kind of like gives the polite, you know, "Hi, I'm Beatrice. I'm a paladin, blah, blah, blah." But Grace looks at all of you guys and she says, "Yeah, just, you know, last sort of reminder, if we are going to be leaving this week, we just wanted to go and participate in some of the things around campus to see you guys, you know, show off your skill sets, which you guys did pretty well. If you guys are interested, we will be, you know, accepting some people's, like, I guess, applications, if you want to call it that, to the church. Don't forget, we got that pretty hefty sign-on bonus. So hopefully I'll see you guys again soon, yeah?"
Yeah. Hope to see you soon.
Cool. She gives a polite little smile back and then puts her hand on Ava's back and begins to, you know, take you guys away. Beatrice screams out to you and she's like, "Bye, Ava. It was great beating you up."
She turns back and waves.
So yeah, Ava, you head back to the visitor's dorm. It is getting close to sundown at this point, so you guys know what that means. You're heading back and no longer allowed to leave the hall. But the rest of you, a couple of the NPCs walk up to you guys. You guys see Balon and Taz like catch Grace on the way out and go up and talk to her. Echo looks over to Galadier, and then they and Christina sort of like make their exit and look at some of the people from the Church of Parhan, but don't stop to talk to them. Reggio and Orman also head out. John Luke leaves. It's just you guys, Beatrice, Asta departs, and Balon is still here talking.
The sky's pretty nice down here, isn't it, Asta?
Asta's like laying on the ground, still very out of breath and dizzy, and she's like, "Are you seeing as many stars as I am? I swear there's not supposed to be this many."
I'm not seeing any stars.
She looks over at you, and she's like slightly cross-eyed, and she's like, "What?"
Leo.
I'm coming.
Concussion.
Leo, you walk over, you give like a little cure wounds, and Asta like sits back up,
Don't sleep.
and she's like, "Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Why was I seeing stars? We were inside. That's crazy. I'm gonna go to bed." And she leaves.
Before she leaves, Gwen's like, "You want this muffin?"
She looks at you, and with a very straight face, she just nods her head and takes the muffin and eats it on the way out.
All right.
Over the table, what was in that muffin?
It's just
Coffee sauce.
it's like a fuck. What's it called? It's a raspberry muffin.
Don't trust it.
She rolled high on a con save. She's fine.
Go ahead.
But yeah, you guys are sort of left there. Taz and Balon again catch Grace on the way out, so Ava, you get to meet them. Taz is this like taller purple tiefling. He has like these black horns that come up and then curve around the back of his head. He's wearing some like heavy plate armor right now. And then Balon is a human man. You actually recognize when he introduces himself, because he says he's from the Silda family, and they are very prominent and notable in Indira. So you kind of like recognize the name, like it holds some weight to you. But they introduce themselves, they take an application and say that they'll bring it by the end of the week, and then they also depart as you leave too. Beatrice stays with you guys, and she sort of leans over to y'all's party, and she's like, "Hey guys, who was the weird girl watching us?"
Who?
The one who oh, she's gone. The tan one with the blonde hair. Yeah, that one, Grace.
Oh.
I forgot her name already. I kind of tuned out of the conversation.
I had to give me money.
Members of this church. What? Wait, did you?
What? Yeah. I'm pretty sure you were there.
I might have
think-
been. I don't.
I don't know. I don't really remember either.
Does she give money to anybody?
Leo's not is barely ever there. Sorry.
I just asked.
Right.
Gwen swindled the church.
Nice.
You're the
Wild. Interesting. Oh, so how'd y'all's mission go? I heard you guys went on your first one. I heard a lot of people went on their first one.
It's pretty good.
Cool.
You wanted
Victoria. I'm sorry, guys. I have a lot of jokes. I didn't want to say it.
We got money.
That's great.
Gwen, do you want to show her the Harry Black dress? I forget what name we decided on, and the other name we already gave him was way too long for me to read.
Well, I kind of left him at the library, and I was supposed to go pick him up
perfect
after this. He wanted to read.
Well, Beatrice, if you want to follow Gwen to the library, you can see a little black dragon.
Yeah.
I would love that. That sounds amazing.
All right. Gwen just like has Beatrice follow behind her and heads to the library.
Yeah, Beatrice like skips along beside you, smiling the whole time. She's like, "Oh my god, I've never met a dragon before. Met dragonborns. I've never met a dragon. This is going to be incredible." what is he, like this big, this big, this big, this big? And then you don't catch her, and she's just like, oh my god, this big? And she just keeps going.
Gwen just like grabs her wrists and like moves it to about the size of how big he is.
Oh, okay. You guys arrive to the library. Miss Salacy, who is the like poetry and literature teacher, she also works in the library, so she's there, and you guys see the little baby black dragon, Ozymandias, is currently like sitting on the sort of like U-shaped desk at the center of the library where you guys check out books and stuff, and she's sitting there like just petting him gently, looking at a book, and like he's reading through it, and then you see him like point to a word, and she looks at it and she's like, oh, filigree, and he's like, and he looks.
What do you mean? I don't even know that word.
I don't even know what it means. I just know it's a cool word.
Does sound pretty cool.
It is an ornamental work of fine wire, typically into like a delicate traced image or something like that. So it's just kind of like a delicate, ornate wire symbol almost in jewelry.
I know what it is in real life.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I just learned that. Thanks, Google. But yeah, they're like reading together, and then you and Beatrice come in, and Beatrice immediately goes, oh my god! And then Salacy looks up and goes, shh. And she goes, oh my god. Zim looks up, sees you, and he gets a big old smile on his face.
Hey there, Zim.
He waves and then points at the book that he's reading.
What's this about?
He shrugs and then looks up at Salacy, and she's like, it's just like a fictional work that came out of Narana. It's about this guy who, I think he goes crazy. It depends on how you interpret it.
Okay. Cool. As long as he's getting educated.
Yeah, getting educated on people murdering kings, I guess. But hey, he picked out the book, not me.
Yep. No, I respect that. Free choice, free decisions.
And then Zim kind of like gives a little salute, and then he closes the book, slides it back to Salacy, and then hops on your shoulder. And Beatrice immediately is just like, oh my god. She's like very gingerly touching him and petting him, and he's like looking at her weird.
Zim, this is Beatrice. Beatrice, this is Ozymandias.
He takes her hand and kind of pushes it back, and then reaches out to shake her hand, and she does it ever so slowly. And Beatrice is just like, I want one.
Well, I think this is like the only one. So, I know. You could maybe visit more often.
I'm going to have to do that. You should bring him to homeroom every week, and I will bring treats for him.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's go.
You should bring some treats for me too.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I saw that you like muffins. I might have to.
I mean, I like pretty much anything.
Fair enough. Cool. Well, thank you for introducing us. This is so cool. I'm going to go now because I have other homework to do, but bye, Ozymandias. And he kind of...
Have a nice night, B.
She waves goodbye and then heads off, like super excited and still skipping a little bit. Ozymandias just looks at you with a weird expression on his face, just like, who the hell was that?
That's Beatrice. She's a paladin.
He just shrugs and then crawls back into your bag.
All right. Then Gwen just like turns to the librarian and she's like, thanks for watching him. I really appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. I love him. He is such a little guy. He just likes to read.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll be until he's not little anymore, though. So we'll see about that.
That's true. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. Anytime. See you later.
All right. See ya. Gwen heads to her dorm.
Yeah. You head out. So, for the rest of you, the night.
Gwen headed out the door outside, leaving the thing. First, I was like, bye, Gwen, I guess. Okay. Let's.
Bye, Marcel.
There we go.
Didn't know you were going this way, but okay.
No, okay, you left the vent. So I was like, wait, you didn't say bye to any of us. Rude.
Sorry, got distracted.
Yeah, Marcel just followed you guys to the library.
But now Marcel will be like, oh, I hope you guys had fun. And Ava, but this is kind of what we do. Oh, good team, right, guys? Okay. Just tell me we're a good team, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, see, we make it work. We have our differences, but we make it work. We're a great team. Friends to the end.
You're a good guy, Marcel.
You're definitely something, Marcel.
I am something. I'm complicated.
For some reason, I agree with it.
I'm surprised one of you didn't take the opportunity to bar with Ava, see what her skill set was.
If she can handle her own with Beatrice, she's just fine. Beatrice kicks my butt all the time.
I have faith with what she's capable of. I bet she could kick my butt. And that's why I have a bunch of people kick my butt, because then that means I kick other people kick my butt. See? Pretty smart, huh?
You know what? What's everyone's plans for the night?
I was thinking of actually going to bed. Kind of, late. I get
At once?
kind of pummeled.
Yeah. You did kind of get destroyed tonight, huh?
I seem to get beaten up quite a bit in a lot of things like this. Interesting.
It's a learning process, Marcel.
Yeah, training isn't always succeeding. A lot of the times it's failing.
No, I trust me. Trust me, results. I know about fame very much so. It's interesting.
Balon's also a pretty good sword fighter, so it'll take a while to get up to his level, unfortunately. He has a few years on us.
Yeah.
What time of day is it?
I mean, at this point, it's getting into like nighttime. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go see what Hildegard's doing for dinner.
Sure.
I'm probably going to bed.
have a nice day.
Thanks. You guys have a wonderful evening.
Thanks.
You too.
Yeah.
Probably gonna go read and go to bed.
Okay. Bye, Sarah. Hope you had fun watching, I guess.
Yeah, it was amusing.
I'm sure you saw Gwen on her butt. You were probably happy.
And I just like chuckle and go ahead and walk back to the door.
Well, Ava, if you ever want to see us again, you know where we are. So I'm be heading out too.
I don't just talk.
Ava's not there.
Oh,
I've not been in well.
I totally missed that.
Wondering what you why
Juan is tweaking it.
No, dude. No, it happens. It happens.
Rose got the talk. That's why I said nothing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, dude. Marcel totally. And that's a Marcel thing. He just takes Ava's behind him and he's like, oh,
All good.
Rosarius, why isn't Ava behind me?
Maybe I could be. You don't know. I'm kind of sneaky.
Weird. Well, anyway, I'm leaving, I guess. And then Marcel will go to his room and, like, think about a couple stuff.
Think about a couple stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Rosarius is awkwardly the only one here, so he's going to go ahead and leave. I think I'm going to start working on a smithing project before I go to bed.
For sure. Yeah, so you guys all go off into your various rooms or whatever you're doing next. Leo, hangs out with Hildegard like he normally does. Rosarius is working because what else does he do? You guys all sort of go out and disperse. Unless you guys have anything specific, the next thing that actually happens this week is that magic item sale on Thursday. So I'll let you guys decide. Is there anything you guys are doing on Wednesday or like during class until then? Or is the next time you guys like actually meeting up or doing anything on that day?
Nothing for me.
I just had more of the same.
Maybe the regular stuff, yeah.
Cool.
And without Lucy and Marcel can't talk to him.
I will say that you do talk to Lucian a little bit. He is...
Well, I'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys go out. Ava, I will say that you can manage to sort of sneak out and attend this little magic item sale thing that is happening. You're able to just like take your lunch break, I guess, and sort of come out and participate on this, you know that you're supposed to be leaving tomorrow. So just for context, the church is leaving tomorrow morning and they're making the trek back to Timira.
Okay.
So
When's my like interview thing?
Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows?
Loomis knows the freaking
I know.
Yeah, Loomis probably knows. I don't think anyone else knows. Probably not.
Good. Great.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead and you guys all sort of like reconvene at this magic item sale. It is hosted in Andhra Plaza at the like general magic item shop. It is almost like a thrift store where people will come in and like sell the things they no longer need or want, and then the store will like host that and sell it. You guys walk in and immediately you notice that there are quite a few people here. It is bustling and busy. There are a lot of students walking around, looking at stuff, picking stuff up, setting it down, and you notice a couple of familiar faces, I guess. You notice Cilia and Galadir are both here, but they look like they're not shopping. They look like they are helping people. So you walk in, there are a couple of aisles that are mostly sort of filled, but you guys can look around and talk to people or just shop if you want.
Marcel would definitely be talking to people because he enjoys talking.
Sure. You look around and Talon, one of your classmates, she stopped by and she sees you look at her and she walks over and she's like, "Hey, what's up, Marcel?"
Oh, pretty much very little. Actually, quite little, in fact.
I mean, that's good, right? Compared to before with the whole party member leaving and not showing up anymore.
Ourselves, so it's like looking down, like, I miss you, Lucian. I miss you, Kieran. I miss them all. Question?
Question for me?
Yeah, question for you.
Sure.
See, I like talking to my teammates a bunch, but sometimes I feel like there's kind of like a disconnect between us. So
Sure.
sometimes it's good to talk to maybe people outside of the team.
Right?
And one question I get that I have that for me it's always hard to tell them is like my family is from kind of like a very prestigious and intellectually known family, and I'm not. So I have siblings who are incredibly intelligent, incredibly skilled, prodigies. I mean, we have a whole giant tree explaining all their great deeds. And then you have me, who, I mean, I studied, I worked hard, but it's becoming rough, especially now since I kind of lost another fight, and I keep feeling like, yeah.
She sort of takes you, and you guys are like walking through some of the aisles, like going in between people as you're talking. And she sort of like stops towards the front and she's like, I mean, you do realize that there are so many people who want to go to this school but never get the chance to, right? Like people are kind of picked to come here. And I feel like that's a feat in and of itself. I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit for where you're at.
That's why I kind of want to talk outside the group, because look, when I got the sword, it was a really good blessing. I mean, I felt like I have a tool to actually do better, but I don't know. And then when I got this opportunity, I also felt like I got a tool to do better. And I guess I just don't feel. I think I'm given so much blessings, but I actually don't deserve it, I guess. Especially since I have siblings who probably begged for something like the opportunity that I was given.
Well, hey, all I can say is you haven't done anything bad with them, from my knowledge. Maybe the opportunity just hasn't come up yet. I think once you get to a position where you have the potential to do something really good or not, unless you choose not to do it, I think you're using the blessings to the best of your ability. I was talking about the school. You do a lot of change throughout the school. You get sent out to help a lot of people, and that in and of itself is pretty good. But while you're out, if you choose to help more people than you have to, I guess, then it doesn't matter how small it is. It's the fact that you're choosing to help people.
Yeah, and I always like helping people.
Yeah? I can tell. You help me with my homework all the time. Talanch gives us way too much stuff to read, and, you're not giving yourself credit there because the amount of times you've helped me when I'm stuck on homework is borderline impressive. Because Lord knows Ravik's not going to help. Bless his heart.
Yeah. He does. He always...
Did you cast mute on yourself?
No, I should be talking.
Oh, what the heck? Out for like a solid 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Wait, can you not hear me?
Oh, we can now, yeah.
Oh, then why are you trying to gaslight me? It's like...
You just cut out, no.
Yeah, you cut out. There's a big cutout. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it said at least he made sandwiches. But
Yeah, we each contribute to the group in our own way. So, he does something. You guys circle back around and you meet back up with your party who's still looking out across this big crowd, and she says, Go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say something before, but yeah, she has something to say.
Yeah, as you guys are approaching back to your party, and she just says, well, listen, I'm always here to talk if you need it, but it sounds like you just need some more time to be productive at the school. We just started doing missions. A lot of us got sent out last week for the first time, so it's kind of we're just now getting the opportunity to do stuff.
No, I understand.
But hey, we're passing classes. That's what matters for now.
Oh,
She gives you...
difficulty with school, and then he walks out.
She watches you walk out and goes, okay. And she continues perusing. The rest of you guys are here.
Marcel jumps on Leo. Leo!
What is happening?
Magical place. There's magic stuff to buy.
I know. What are you gonna buy?
Buy it all.
So I am going to just read off things to you guys, because as you're entering this magic shop and walking around, there seems to be a flow of traffic almost. All of these magic items are mostly set up with a little note card in front of them with a description of the item itself and with the cost. And you guys notice that there's even a little discount range. It'll say from 3 to 12 gold discount, or from 2 to 20 gold discount, something like that. But you guys start walking around, and I'll just read out all of these for you, and then you guys can tell me if anything catches your eye. The first thing that you guys notice is you pass by an arrow, and on the little note card it says, Arrow of Self-Transportation, 51 gold pieces. Discount 3 to 12. The description reads, arrow with allows the user to transport themselves to wherever the arrow lands. It's this metal arrow with feathers on the end of it and a tiny little white crystal on the tip of it that kind of glows just a little bit.
Leo, I think it's meant for you.
I don't have a bow.
Can.
I'm not sure that's meant for me.
Interested.
What would I do?
I don't know. You look strong.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I'll go ahead. I'll keep reading them out, and then you guys can return to any of these. It's not like it's a one-stop shop kind of thing. Next one. It is a circular little iron medallion that is just a little bit rusted, and it's just a little bit smaller than your palm. The note card reads, Braggart's medallion, 66 gold pieces, discount 2 to 12. Requires attunement, allows the user to deal much stronger attacks at the cost of being easier to hit. May or may not be cursed. Next one. It is a small little simple blue like quartz crystal that when you guys pick it up, like where your fingers touch it, like little sparks of electricity generate inside the crystal. The note card reads, charged crystal, 19 gold pieces, discount 1 to 4. A simple quartz crystal enchanted with an electrical charge. If ground to dust to use for enchanting, may continue to carry the charge into an imbued item. Next one. You guys pick up a like longsword that is partially translucent. You can like see through the blade, but you can definitely tell that it's there. But when you like move it around and swing it, the blade fully disappears. It says Ghost Blade, 117 gold pieces, discount 3 to 18. Requires attunement, +1 longsword, allows the user to summon spectral copies of themselves with the mirror image spell. These spectral copies can attack, but only once. Next one. It is a like simple set of like thin silver boots. They're very, very light. Like you guys pick them up and they weigh less than like tennis shoes. It says Quickened Greaves, 36 gold pieces, discount 2 to 8. Raises the user's dexterity and allows for a short burst of speed once per day. Next one. I got a lot here for y'all. Steadfast Staff. It is a sturdy, simple quarterstaff. It is like this gray wood color. It says Steadfast Staff, 77 gold piece, discount 2 to 16. It says +1 quarterstaff made out of ironwood from Moradon. Allows the user to gain charges by attacking enemies, which can be used to deal extra damage or protect themselves temporarily. And then last one on this sort of like set of rows you guys are looking at is the Cloak of Many Fashions. It's a simple leather cloak that you guys like pick up, and it doesn't quite do anything yet. But the note card reads, Cloak of Many Fashions, 27 GP, discount 2 to 8. Yes, that one changes appearance. Very interesting indeed. Signed, Lumis. So you guys are like in the center of this like set of rows of tables and stuff that are set up for all of these items on sale. So you can kind of like return to and look at any of them. There is another table, but that one has some like 1 or 2 more weapons, a couple of scrolls, a like weird rope on it, and then a set of like weird goggles with like almost bird's eye shapes on them. But yeah, what catches y'all's attention? What do you look at? What are you looking into? What's the plan? I will also copy and paste them and put them into somewhere you guys can read. That way you don't have to ask. I'll just take a screenshot and send the picture to you guys.
I know for me, I would be looking at that sword, the Ghost Blade.
Sure, yeah. I'll say that you guys sort of gather this just from context clues. It sounds like this whole thing was sort of sponsored by the Orda Arcana. That's why you see like Cilia and Galadhir here. They probably use like the Identify spell to identify a lot of these items that they're putting out, and that's where these descriptions come from. So you look at the Ghost Blade, and it, just to reiterate what it says, it is a +1 longsword. It allows the user to summon copies of themselves, which is the mirror image spell, which increases your, or like it makes it where like there's a chance of you not being hit. And it says that this one is special because those copies can attack, but once they attack, they disappear.
I don't know. I think Rosari's is going to look at everyone and say, what do y'all think? I think it's worth it.
Marcel is already paying for the Cloak of Many Fashions. What do you say?
Sorry, I was looking at these arrows. What'd you say?
Okay, Gwen, I think that crystal thing would be good for your bow too.
The what?
The blue crystal. I think it could make your bow do electricity.
I didn't see that.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the sword so nobody else can have it, and I'm gonna then walk over to what I think was like the third thing, the charged crystal.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just say, I think Thatch could work with this in your bow probably and make your bow do electric damage somehow, if I'm reading that card correctly.
How much is that?
It says it's 19 gold, and it's like 1 to 4 gold off.
Yeah, let me get a discount.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cheap, actually.
I would go ahead and do it. Just, if nothing else, if it fails.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll take that.
Is discount a persuasion check?
It could be.
So,
Also, Marcel, Rosaris picks up this sword and begins walking with it, and you feel Jacques have that same sort of vibe that you felt whenever Echo used her magic weapons. So Rosaris picks this up and starts moving with it, and you feel Jacques like kind of pulling you to it a little bit.
Rosaris, I think Jock is attracted to your sword. Double meaning.
Marcel, I say this in the nicest way possible. I have no idea how to respond to some of the crazy things that comes out of your mouth.
I get that a lot.
Accurate. I will say I appreciate that you didn't say your sword's going through puberty. So
How did you hear that?
no,
Wait,
I
what?
was whispering.
you
at the-
said it. You said it really loudly, and you were yelling in Leo's ear.
What's the cup like? Because of your
But
I want to see the sword.
I think that means I should probably buy the sword for selfish reasons, and then we can use that to figure out what's going on with your sword.
Sure.
I'm not going to let your sword eat my sword. I don't know what your sword's doing now. This is my sword.
Jock doesn't eat swords. That's silly.
Swords don't go through puberty either, Marcel.
Well, I don't know. It's the first time I'm killing or something like this. I'm a very concerned parent.
I'm concerned for you as well.
Thank you. It's good to have someone concerned for me.
Okay.
Guys, I really like these greaves, but I
Those
don't
are nice.
I don't think they would I don't think these would fit.
No.
Oh yeah, your feet.
Those.
Yeah. You might tear through them too if you try to put them on.
I think I'd break them if I put them on.
You should try.
Wait, DM, is this like One Ring rules where it actually like grows for the person user, or no?
I'll let you figure that out by experience.
Okay.
First of all, we didn't even ask. Are they like halfling-sized greaves or like...
No, they're like humans.
We're not arguing over like tars.
They're this big, all right? You have to be a fairy to wear them. No, they're like medium humanoid-sized greaves. The only issue is Gwen points out that Dragonborn feet probably wouldn't fit in a normal set of boots.
Anyways, here you go, Ava.
Thanks.
And she'll take them.
When'd you pay for that for her? That's so
No.
so nice.
No,
of you.
no.
I gave you a
No.
lollipop. What is this?
I can repay you something else, all right? Not these.
Don't accept the cookie. If she gives you a cookie, say no.
You know what? Fuck you with Mira.
I think I'd love
Whoa, no. Got it, friends.
I made that with sweat and tears in love.
I know, I tasted it.
Good.
Yeah, they're the lost one.
Tasted my love with Mira.
Salty.
Wow.
Oh man.
So,
Persuade to the person so I get the discount.
Marcel's already checking out. We're, as a party, trying to figure things out. Marcel's got his priorities straight.
He's ready to go.
Yeah, Marcel, if you want to go ahead and check out with whatever you want to grab, feel free.
The cloak.
Sure, yeah, you grab the cloak, you bring it up to the front, and then there is one of the Orda Arcana members. You know her as Ziraleth. She's like an upperclassman wizard. She's sitting there with glasses on her face. She looks at that, a little flash of magic crosses her eyes, and then she pulls out a little pouch and she says, all right, that'll be 27 gold pieces, and your discount will be, and then she reaches into a bag and pulls out, and will you roll me 2d4?
All right. 2d4. Seven.
Cool, so you can take 7 off of that, so she says that will be 20 gold pieces.
Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Pay it, and he'll be like, hey guys, look, I got a cloak.
Yeah, you now are the proud owner of a cloak of many fashions. You can add it to your inventory.
Awesome.
What's it do again?
It does something?
I mean, they're magical items. Don't they all do something?
The note says it changes appearance. Very interesting indeed.
Wait. He turns around. Okay, go. And he turns his cloak turns to Rosarius, but like angry. Guys, it did it. Wait. Okay, go.
We should not let him have this. It's just gonna be Gwen's feet over and over again.
What? All right, as you guys are looking around, I'll go ahead and give you the information for the other table as well. There is a halberd of warning. That one is going to be 125 gold pieces. There is a scroll of cloud of daggers. That one is going to be 99 gold pieces. A scroll of detect magic. That one is going to be 37 gold pieces. Goggles of night, 51. There is something called Heward's handy spice pouch. Thanks, Izzy. That one is going to be 4 gold pieces. And then a rope of entanglement. That one is 29.
One's gonna pick up the spice pouch.
Yeah.
She's gonna give it a good old sniff and be like, "Who's Heward?"
Who knows?
It smells pretty good though, guys. Lots to sniff this.
Yeah, you guys done?
So I take
No, thank you.
Marshall takes 2 feet back, like with that. Kind of creepy.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, Gwen just holds that too.
Cool. Well, you guys have like the full array of things that you can buy, so you can peruse at your heart's content. You can ask questions, whatever you want to do. But whenever you decide on buying something, just let me know.
Esthira, do you think that staff might be an upgrade for you?
Well, I was kind of thinking about getting away from the staff, honestly. I've been trying this scimitar more recently. It's just a lot to carry a big, heavy staff.
Well,
I'm not very strong.
I would know that you were trying to get away from it if you would actually take part in the training session instead of just staring at us.
See, I don't see the point of getting extra beat up for no reason. I come, I watch, I take notes sometimes, but I don't need extra pain.
Fair enough.
You all get upset if I fight you in my bear form, so...
Hey, Marcel, can you do me another favor?
No.
Okay, cool.
Leave my sword alone.
Will you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, good.
Okay.
I don't want to buy anything. I'm going to put everything back.
A wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect. That's 7.
Cool. You feel a very strong urge coming from Jacques. Your sword was kind of like giving you this feeling like it was very drawn to these other magical weapons. At this point, it is now transitioned and it's leaking over to you. You are by no means...
Guys.
I need to choose better words. It is slowly transitioning to affecting you as well. I'll use academic language. But you get this feeling like you're being pulled. I'm not going to make you do anything specific, but you have a strong urge to, whether you buy it or not, take one of these magic items. Specifically the weapons. The staff is drawing your attention. The sword is drawing your attention. Hell, even the charged crystal is giving you a little bit of a pull, but it's mostly that staff and the sword.
Yeah,
So I will even say that you guys also notice Marcel sort of like spaces out for a second after he looks around and he like has already purchased this cloak and he sees Rosari's holding the sword. He sees the staff that they're talking about and he sort of like kind of zones out just a minute and then like catches himself again.
I'm gonna like snap my fingers in front of his face. Marcel.
puberty. What? Oh, hey, what up?
Can I cast detect magic?
On a magic sword?
Yeah. I know my brain's probably going to go crazy. I just want to see if there's like a spike of magic coming off of it.
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and cast Detect Magic, what's the time on that? Like, are you rich? You can't ritually cast it, right?
No, it's
Okay.
it's an action.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic, and immediately, of course, the whole room lights up. Everything is magical in here. There's so much stuff. You are like overloaded with information.
I think what I specifically did was I'd like cut my hand down, trying to like just look at the sword.
Yeah. You tune out everything else, all of the like threads of magic moving around, following these magic items, and you look at Marcel, and you do see Jacques glowing with this like almost like a burnt orange color of magic. And you can identify the school of magic. It is transmutation. With a little bit of like that pink enchantment color to it as well. And Marcel is like getting tinges of that pink, but the sword is glowing that like dark orange color.
Okay, and I've done detect magic or whatever before around him. So is this like different?
Yes.
Is it stronger? Okay. Marcel, I do believe your sword is trying to eat my sword. It's doing something to you, and I don't know if a wizard can like get that to stop or not.
Swords don't eat other. That doesn't make. Why would a sword eat another sword? Why does it even have a mouth?
Your sword is glowing bright orange, man.
So what? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't see anything.
Oh.
This is a detect magic speaking.
Oh. Oh yeah. He's, he looks at Rosarius. I'm pretty sure it's not orange. Dumb shit.
Not to you, but it's giving off a very strong transmutation thing, which I wish Lucian was here right now. You might go talk to the magic people that are selling the things and ask them why transmutation sword's trying to eat my sword.
It's just sword thing, man.
That is not a normal sword thing, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you a sword parent? You understand once you become a sword parent.
I have literally made swords, yes.
But does your sword do this stuff? No.
No, and that's why I'm telling you to go get it checked out.
You know, the sword isn't like new. I mean, I knew about the sword like since I was a kid, right? Like it's not like I don't know of it. It's treated like it's like some kind of random thing I picked up. No, this is like.
Okay, then why you're falling prey to it, trying to grab my sword?
I'm not grabbing your sword.
You just reached out for it.
Then why are you getting so close to me? It's creepy.
You're acting weird, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, that's true. But that's beyond the point. I mean, my sword won't try to eat your... I mean, your sword is like... I can't even see your sword right now. It's like all invisible or whatever.
Marcel, as you're like talking and doing this, like you're moving and gesturing your hands, and you don't even realize it, but after a second, you see that Jacques has moved from like your hip, where he is sheathed, to just he is now in your hand all of a sudden.
Marcel, put the sword back in the sheath.
Marcel drops the sword. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it clatters to the ground. Still, Rosarius, you see it like has that dark orange glow to it.
Marcel, I'm gonna test something. Don't be angry with me. I'm gonna try to pick up his sword and and just let it draw closer to my new sword.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll pay for it in a minute. Over the table, I'll pay for it in a minute.
Can you give me a perception check as you do that?
Great. That is what I am really good at.
Best known for, right?
Woo! 9.
Cool. You pick up the sword. It doesn't take much to notice this, but as you bring it closer to like this new sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You're holding them up. You start bringing Jacques a little bit closer, and you feel Jacques in your hand leaning into it and moving a little bit on its own towards the new sword. And I'll let you decide whether you like fully make contact or just hold them close. It's almost like a magnetic force.
I'm not going to make contact because I don't want my new sword to go away for some reason. I'll try to find a crappy magic item, magic weapon later. But getting back to Marcel, I'll say your sword is like magnetized to this other magic sword. I don't know what's going on with it, but we may want to get you out of here and we can test it later.
Do I see that the staff is also reacting?
The staff isn't doing anything. It's just Marcel's sword, but you know that his sword, from what you guys can gather, is just reacting to magic weapons in the vicinity.
Can I like pick up the staff and hold it close to the sword? To Marcel's sword?
Sort of the same thing happens. It starts to like almost magnetically move towards the staff.
I'm gonna just like look up at Rosari's as I like move it closer.
You break it, you buy it, and he's gonna hold it as still as he possibly can.
Hey, good luck. Marcel grabs his sword and puts it back in the sheath. I'm not gonna just like absorb someone's weapon.
But you gotta know what it does. I'll set the staff back.
Marcel, we'll figure this out at some point, but your dad, that sword's weird. And I have a sword that's invisible. So, put that in perspective.
It's an heirloom, it's very important. Don't touch it. It's like kind of my own thing.
Trust me, I don't want to touch it.
Oh, but you did touch it.
Yeah, I don't want to anymore.
Good.
Very important.
So while all of that is happening, you guys are still shopping and people are like moving around you and sort of like, excuse me, and like moving out of the way. Someone like, as you set the staff down, they look at you, Thera, and they're like, hey, are you going to buy that?
No, nope. And I'll like walk away.
They like pick up the note and they're like, ugh, 77 gold? Okay, maybe next time. And they like head off.
You should get a job.
I have one.
Not a good one.
I agree.
Leo, anything strike your fancy? I know a lot of it's weapons, so probably not.
No, nothing particular. Nothing standing out, honestly.
You don't want that medallion?
No.
Sorry, secretly loves shopping. He's like, you should get this.
Advantage your eyes.
I'm not gonna lie. Rosari's also picking up the medallion for himself.
Yeah, just to repeat what it says, it is a like little circular iron medallion, a little bit smaller than your palm, and it says that it does require attunement, and it allows you to deal much stronger attacks, but it also makes you a little easier to be hit. May or may not be cursed.
Perfect.
Somebody sounds like it's best.
I'll figure that out before I put it on. Don't worry.
I wouldn't fuck with that personally.
Well,
All right.
I won't make you wear it.
I will take the rope of entanglement. That does look kind of interesting.
Sure. Yeah, you go and you pick it up, and it is just this like 30-foot long rope that is coiled up and held. There's like a brass like bangle at each end, and it says that you can speak a command word, and the other end of it will like go towards and try to entangle someone near you, and they have to succeed on a DC 15 dex save or become restrained by the rope.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll mind that.
Cool. Yeah, so that one is rope of entanglement, 29 gold pieces. Go ahead and roll me. You go up to the front. Zeroleth looks again, same flash. She reaches into the bag and goes to pull out a number. Go ahead and roll me 2d4.
3.
Cool. 26 gold pieces for that.
All right.
All right. Well, Marcel's got 2 things. What about everybody else? What are y'all looking at?
I'm getting the boots.
Hell yeah. You take up these, really light greaves. You pick them up, and it feels like they should weigh a lot more. You go up to the front. Zeroleth looks at you, and she has that little flash. She goes to reach in her bag, and as she's reaching in, she looks at you, and she's like, do I know you?
I don't think so.
I should. And she pulls out a number. Go ahead and give me 2d4. A lot of these are 2d4. I'm just now noticing that.
3.
They will cost you 33 gold pieces. her eyes sort of linger on you for a second as she's like very inquisitively looking at you, and she, you hand her the gold, she stuffs it up, and she says, "Have a nice day."
You too. And she slowly moves away.
Anyone else? Athera, Gwen?
Sure. Gwen's gonna she's gonna pick up the arrow of self-transportation and add it to her arms with the charged crystal and the spice pouch.
Yeah.
And then I go to the counter.
Cool. You come
also
up,
likes shopping.
you dump that stuff on the counter, and Zerolith just goes, "Okay. For the spice pouch, will you give me 1d4?
Yep. That's a 3.
Cool. That will cost you 2 gold pieces.
Word.
The arrow of self-transportation, give me 3d4.
Oh god. 6. Hold on. 9.
9. That will cost you 42 gold pieces.
Okay.
And then the last one was the crystal. That'll be 1d4.
This is a 2.
Cool. That'll be 17.
Okay. Cool.
So if you want to take all of that out, she takes your money. She's like, "All right, have a great day. You can take the note card with you. It explains what it does. Yada, yada."
Okay, thank you.
Of course. All right. And then last call for everybody else. I don't think anyone's checked out those weapons yet, if y'all want to get one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the sword and the medallion.
Cool.
I did the math already. It's 183. I have 184 gold total, and I rolled the 5d6, and I got 10 gold off.
Cool. All right. You did the math for me. I'm going to trust you. That was a lot of numbers, and I can't read. So, yeah. Cool. We're all good on that. Athera, anything? You still have that other table with, like, a couple of scrolls, and, like, I guess you wouldn't really want the halberd, but anything else catch your eye?
No, she kind of walks around, looks at the scrolls, just looking for like protection stuff. Notices that none of it really is that. She tries to pick up the halberd and is like, yeah, nope, I'm not strong enough for that. And yeah, just
Cool.
good.
Well, you guys, well equipped and ready to go, take all of your new magic items and head out. There are, I will point out, just because of passive insights and investigations and things like that, you guys notice that most of the people here are first years, not a lot of upperclassmen. But you guys head out, disperse, and go about the rest of your day, and we will take a break right there. I really wanted that to be the first thing we say coming back from break.
No, I know where you're trying to make.
Yeah, you saw the on air.
Yeah, come on, man.
Damn it. All right, welcome back. We're back
On air thing? What?
on air.
Yes, there is an on-air thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that you figured that out.
All right, so we finished up with the shopping. Yeah, so the next day, you guys go back from the shopping. It was a little bit later, so you guys all returned to your room. The next day would be Friday, which you guys do not have classes, but you do have homeroom early in the day. At this point, Professor Ranth starts giving out some assignments. A lot of you guys are getting missions for the following weekend. They're sending a lot of people out on these like easier missions for the first years for you guys to handle. You guys get a little note from Rant as she comes over to your group and she says, "Hey guys, so you guys are going to be getting sent out again next week. Congrats. 2 missions before we even get to midterms. That's pretty cool. So here's the situation. I'm just going to give you guys the note, but I will also say that based on the location before you guys head out, next weekend on Friday, I would go talk to Professor Rykor. He's over in the West Wing with the fighter professors. Find him, go to his office, and then he's going to help you guys get to where you're going. Sound good?
Yep.
Cool. Loud and clear.
Marcel's just focusing on his sword. He completely ignores Professor Rance.
She says, "All right, here's the note. It is oddly quiet in here."
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy this.
Go ahead and go.
I'm going to enjoy this while I can. Thank you guys. Anyway, have fun. Read the note next week. You know, you don't have to show up to my class. You can leave Thursday night if you want. It's whatever. And again, just a reminder, because you guys are going a little bit further away this time. If you end up needing to take extra time and missing the days of class of the following week, that is okay. Just make sure that you guys are able to come back and say, "Hey, listen, we had to stay longer to do this. It was not just us taking an early vacation. We were working on this mission or doing this other side mission or doing this thing." You get the idea. I'm going to go enjoy my peace and quiet. See you guys later.
Bye.
She walks away, heads off. The rest of the first years are talking. You guys see like Beatrice and Celia's party over there who are like jumping and celebrating, and then they immediately like run out of the room and start going to prep for their mission. The note is in front of you guys. I'll have all of you guys read it, which at this point, I do want to ask a question. Before we even get any further in this, Ava, the church is leaving today. They probably would have left earlier in the day. Everyone was getting ready. Grace was rounding everybody up right after dawn. She gets to Ava's room, knocks on the door. Are you still in there? Or have you already sort of disappeared?
She was very nervous, so she left earlier.
For sure. Right before the sun comes up, you wake up very early. You're very nervous. You take whatever things that you want to keep, and you depart from the guest hall and exit. And you make your way to this homeroom with the rest of the party. So you are like fully here now. Professor Rant, I guess she would have like introduced herself and said, "Hi, I'm Professor Rant. I'm your homeroom teacher. I'll be the one like giving out the missions and your like, you know, go-to contact, blah, 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 blah." But at this point, the church would have left already. You have not been back to check, but you've been going around campus. You find your way to your homeroom and you guys are here together. So.
Okay, that was easy.
Yeah. Don't worry. We got more stuff coming with that. The note reads, and I will read it word for word. "Dearest Iso Mifi, I write to you, one academic to another. I believe that I have made great strides towards my work in my book. I have located a tomb out in the sandy wastes of the Paranum Desert, and would like a protective force to allow me to study it in peace. Would you mind sending a party to Kalan? Payment will be sent afterwards, whether we are successful or not. Thank you, dear friend, Solder Bracious." But yes, it essentially says that this sort of academic person has apparently found a tomb they want to investigate, and you guys are being sent to protect him while he does it. And it is located in a desert.
I look like, oh my gosh, you have to be kidding me.
Escort mission.
Yeah, and Leo, hopefully it's not too hot for us to have our armor on, or this is going to be very fun.
Thank
You're gonna get sand in your armor.
Gonna get cooked.
I hate sand.
Right.
It's coarse, it's rough, gets everywhere.
I'm used to it.
And you come from the desert?
A desert, yeah.
That's cool.
No, I like it much better here.
I guess it's hot, not cool. Sorry.
You would
How do you keep the sand out of your arm?
where the sand can get.
Oh no.
Yeah, be ready for that.
All right. I wonder how we should prepare for the desert.
Maybe
Water.
Okay.
Genius.
I guess that's priority, yeah. Anything else? Any ideas?
Maybe stuff to protect us from the sun. I don't know.
Sunscreen?
Sunscreen?
Thinking more like maybe a hood or something. I don't know.
puts on cloak, turns becomes a hook. Which you got to
But if that's an illusion, is it an illusion? Because if it's an illusion, you'll still get sunburn.
No, the hood is still there. It's the hood is real. You see that?
Oh. I see.
Yeah. All right, well.
I'll probably be okay. I don't think I'll need anything.
When do we leave?
Next week. So a week from today, but you guys could leave like the day before if you wanted a little extra time. That's kind of up to y'all. It is Friday right now. It is next weekend that you're being sent on this. Or if you get permission from your teachers, you could not go to class Wednesday or Thursday and leave early.
Nice. Well,
Or you could just skip class.
we could study a little bit. And
I mean, I'm fine with anything.
I would assume our new teammate, Ava, could probably give us some pointers on how to prepare. Right?
Oh, yeah.
truth.
I could.
Will the trip only be on foot? Or it says something on note that we'll have somebody ride.
Horses.
It said somebody was going to help us get there.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
Maybe Gwen can shoot her arrow and teleport us.
That's only for me, sorry. Yeah. I'll just do the mission by myself, I guess.
Well, let us know how it goes.
Okay.
Athera, can you turn yourself into maybe a desert animal? Will you think that'd be better for the...
I would have to see one first, but I mean, probably.
Nice.
I mean, the desert has snakes, doesn't it? You've seen a snake before.
Right. Yeah. But would a snake really be useful?
You want to be like, I don't know, a buzzard?
Well, at least that could fly.
Didn't you say you can't fly?
I don't remember if I said that or not. I've never tried.
All right. Well,
I think this is a good time for us to head out and,
Yeah.
for a certain day. Marcel starts heading
Something
out.
really useful. You could maybe try being a griffin.
That seems a little bit above what I could do right now.
I don't know.
And I'd have
You
to
almost
see
had the
what-
owl bear. Almost.
You said I
Kind of.
did.
Yeah, no, you didn't really, but it was kind of scary looking. Not gonna lie. Maybe you just need to try something different.
Trust me, I have.
You can maybe try a panda hop.
Oh, what?
A panda hop.
To sure, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
maybe.
You've never seen one?
No, I have never seen one.
You're from Aorsha. Come on, Athera.
Aorsha's huge. I don't see why you think that our same areas would have the same types of culture or beasts or whatever.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Athera like packs up her things and she's like, well, if you don't have any more absurd questions, I'm gonna go study.
Okay.
She'll leave.
Leo's gonna head for the library.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are heading out. You guys will have, again, like about a week to really do whatever you want around campus before this mission. So I'll turn it over to you guys and let you guys go through and tell me how you spend this week, if you do anything mechanical, if you research anything specific, how you prep for the mission, yada, yada, yada. Let's start with Marcel.
He honestly hasn't really been talking to the other group members for the week. He's just been mostly beyond doing his homework and studying. He's been mostly being with his sword and trying to figure that out.
Yeah, it's mostly just, business as usual. Jacques, around those magic weapons, was giving you a really weird vibe, but now that you are more more isolated, it seems to have leveled out, and nothing really weird is happening. There will be the occasional small tug walking around campus, but nothing as extreme as that.
Yeah, because for him, what really kind of made Marcel like, okay, this is just bad, is when the sword came out without his permission. That is a very big Marcel no-no. Never have his sword ever be pointed at someone that he doesn't intend to strike.
Yeah, sure. I tell you what, you've been doing your homework for Talanch, right?
Yeah.
Give me a history check with advantage. You guys have been studying this exact sort of thing. I'm going to take a leap here and say that you might have looked into, does this happen a lot? What do we know about hex blades? Stuff like that.
And in his own knowledge of the blade itself.
Yeah.
He got 16.
16. So you're reading about it, and the best knowledge that you get, that you've learned about hex blades, and you're reviewing some of your old homework and stuff like that, it is that you are connected to this sword, but it is just a manifestation of something else. That is the general rule of thumb for hex blades. Some people have been known to have sentient weapons, and those were one thing, but for most people who have recorded information on hex blades, it is essentially just the hex, or the weapon itself is a conduit of power, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
With that happening, it gives you the vibe of some people have talked about before in research, sentient weapons that have actions and thoughts of their own. However, with a powerful enough user, it is typically well within their ability to control. Sometimes it has not gone super well though.
Yeah.
So you do a little bit of research, you find out about that. Anything else?
No, mostly he's been trying to focus on the sword, because that haunted him. The idea of ever pointing a sword at anyone.
Yeah.
Especially without his permission.
For sure. So maybe you and Jacques have been a little weird, a little distanced. You're not bringing them with you everywhere.
That's just pretty much doing Professor Rand was
Yeah.
This is very weird.
Cool. So Marcel is kind of out of it, doesn't talk to you guys too much for the week. Athera, you'll be next.
So I'm gonna be spending a lot of time researching different animals, and I've gotten a bunch of books and what's in my brain is that whole personal wild shape thing. So I've just been going through the book of animals and going, what about this one? And I'll try and wild shape into that, and at some point just gets fed up, and I'll sit there and be like, okay, if I just think about what makes me me, and I try to really focus and just see what can happen. And that's pretty much how I spend my time most of the week.
Yeah. I think we called it a nature check before, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, give me one more of those just for like the week as a whole.
Dang, I was hoping you would give me like a couple.
Like 30.
It's all I'm doing.
I'll give you advantage, but we'll call it one check.
Okay, well, I got 22. Yep, that's my best, 22.
Gotcha. All right, let's pull up this thread. So it, again, does not beat the DC, but you start messing around with this, and I'll let you tell me you're sort of manifesting your own personality into a custom, unique, wild shape form that you're attempting. Without full success, what sort of abilities or visuals do you lean into the most with that? And then I'll add to it.
I'm kind of like thinking about my high ability to like perceive things, very much like the quieter personality, and be a little bit stealthy. Just trying to think like, okay, I'm not normally like right in the middle of a fight, but having the ability to be like a utility in there, I don't know, she's feeling very confused because she's still also like, all of Ura Lumis has kind of been a lesson of trying to learn who she is. So there's a lot of confusion around what did I think I was, and what am I actually?
Yeah, so you lean into that as you're attempting these like custom wild shapes, and the varying degrees of success that you get manifest in like you are trying this custom form and you feel your eyes change and suddenly you are much more perceptive. You can see further out into the dark. You notice movement much faster. You feel your hands sort of like not puff up, but just grow thicker and larger, and claws start to come out of your hands. And then you feel yourself, because you're a very like relatively small person, sort of growing in size and growing heavier, and then the transformation stops and you get a couple of those aspects, but never the full thing. All right, Leo, how are you spending the week?
I am going to go to the library with Rosaris.
Sure, I'll let you guys handle this together then. You guys go to the library. What are we looking up? What are we talking about?
I think for Rosaris, he asked Leo to join because there's some weird names going on. We have the Church of Parhan, and then we're going to the Parhanum Desert. And so I'm thinking there might be like a religion thing or like a history thing. And so we wanted to go together to kind of help each other out. And then also Leo wanted me to look into survival tips for the desert, especially for heavy armor people.
Cool. I will let you guys split these up however you'd like. One of you can make a religion check with advantage. The other one can make a survival check with advantage. You're using a library, so I feel like advantage is the least I could give you.
I'll make religion, you make survival.
Cool. 15 on survival.
Cool. Is that with advantage?
That's what yeah.
All right, not bad, not bad.
21 on religion.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm going to tackle the survival first because it's slower. Deserts are hot. You know this. Even in the spring, it's very arid. You look up... I know, right? You look up the specific region. The Parhanum Desert is very yellow sands, hot sun, very dry, very little moisture in the area. You read that there are specialized clothing that is produced in some of the nearby cities, like Sabrine is the capital, so it's very popular there, that helps protect and shield you from like the sun and the heat. But you guys immediately know that like using your armor in this sort of scenario would be dangerous for your own health, as you would probably start taking like levels of exhaustion the longer you used armor out in the desert itself. Other than that, it's basic stuff like if you stay hydrated and if you stay shaded and stuff and you're not like walking just through the desert in the sun, you should be fine. But you do know that if you don't take precautions, it's con saves against an escalating DC to take levels of exhaustion.
Okay.
Rosaris, religion check. Do you want to point the question or you want me to just give you kind of broad information?
If it helps, the thing I think I would be looking for is like, I know different regions differ on the way they call the gods. So I'm wondering if Paranum is just like a regional name for Paran.
Yeah, on a 20...
And then from there, like, why is it called that desert?
Yeah, on a 21, you pass the DC to like crack the case, I guess. I was going to set it at 20. You find out that the Paranum Desert is not named after Paran, but it's named after the first ascended god, which is connected to Paran. Their name was Paranum. You even find a book by this guy, Solder Brazish, that's kind of like a summary of worship of Paranum, which is in Sabrine. There's a little bit of a history in it saying that Paranum, mythologically, was considered a like sun elf, the only one to ever exist because he was blessed by Paran. He was this huge figure for Sabrine historically, like, you know, thousands of years ago. There's a church dedicated to him in the area, and the desert is named the Paranum Desert because that's where he ascended to godhood. So connected to Paran, but not Paran itself, or himself.
I guess realizing it's not connected to Paran himself, I would then just want to know, like, how does the Paran Church, like, do they hold sway over the area? Is it connected to them? Or is the church different?
Different. So I'm going to say no check needed. You look at a map. The Church of Parhan is located in the nation of Timira. The Paranum Desert is located in Wisteria. So completely separate jurisdictions there.
Okay.
Cool. So you guys go to the library. You read a little bit. You share some information. Anything else y'all want to do or talk about?
I think the final thing is, as we're getting ready to go, I think Rosaris would just look at Leo and be like, have you seen Lucilla recently? She hasn't been in classes for a little while.
I'm going to stop for a second and think about it.
Probably been like, weeks since I've seen her.
I can't remember the last time I've actually seen her. I don't even think I saw her when we got back.
I mean, Rosaris, you have seen her in class, but not since you guys left for that last mission.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like in a week.
Yeah.
Interesting. Don't you live in the same dorm?
I cut out. Sorry. What was that?
I said, don't you both live in the same dorm?
Yeah, if you want, we can run by her room real quick. I was just seeing if you had heard anything from her. She's more likely to tell you something than me.
No, I haven't heard anything from her. Yeah, I think we should definitely check on her.
Yeah, and I'll lead the way to our dorm.
Yeah, you guys head there. This is kind of like happening early on in the week, like Tuesday or so. You go by the room and you guys see the nameplates on the door. It's Beatrice and Lucilda. They are roommates. You knock on the door. No answer. Nobody's there.
Where would Beatrice be right now? Maybe she knows something.
I will just say for the sake of this that it is Wednesday. Like, you guys studied earlier in the week and then you're handling this later. So Wednesday, you guys do your training sessions on Tuesday and Thursday for the big group. And Rosaris, you know that you and Beatrice train pretty much every day.
And this is after class, so we'd probably be... Okay. I know where Beatrice will be, so maybe we can ask her more about Lucilda.
Right.
And I'll lead him pretty much back the way we just came back to.
Yep, running around campus. You guys go to the West Wing. You go to the training hall. Beatrice is there. No armor, just practicing with her greatsword on a test dummy. She is swinging and moving and swinging and like trying to move really fast. Doesn't even hear you guys come up.
I see you're taking the training with Ava to heart. Trying to be a little faster.
Yeah. Oh my God, that tiny little redhead actually managed to hit me, and I don't like it. And she swings and hits again.
Oh, you're gonna call her a tiny little rat?
Speaking of things I don't like, I haven't seen Lasilda in like a week.
She hits it again. She's like panting, and she sets her sword down and like leans against the table, slumps against it. She says, "Yeah, me neither. I mean, she hasn't been in class. She was in the room early last week, but I haven't seen her since like Monday, or I guess
That's all.
the day before.
Do you
It
know
was
if she
sometime early last week."
Do you know if she was sent out on a mission?
No, she, I mean, I think a lot of us first years got sent out on missions last weekend, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming so. She might have just got back a little earlier than us, or maybe they're not even back yet. I don't know.
Do you know who her homeroom teacher is?
Lucilda's?
Yeah, she's in our homeroom. Right? Or is she in a different one?
Yes, she is in y'all's homeroom. She is in a party with Barry, Talon, Delphina, Balon, Leofric, and Simon. So she's in y'all's homeroom.
And you haven't seen her in
I
a week from past Monday?
Yeah, I have not seen her for sure since before a lot of us got sent out on missions.
Have we seen her group, like members of her group anywhere?
Yeah. I mean, looking at her party.
Barry would have been with Kata at some point, I feel like.
Yeah, the Rosaries, you would have seen Barry at some point. Marcel interacted with Talon just a couple days ago. Gwen is roommates with Delphina, so she hasn't brought anything up. And you guys just saw Balon at the training session a couple days ago.
Worst case scenario, and this is over the table, I'm trying to get the dates right. What Beatrice is telling us versus when were the Parhan people here?
The week you guys got back from your mission.
And so Lesotho was missing before then, right?
Beatrice says that she has not seen her since people left out for those missions. Like, she's assuming she left for that mission that weekend, and she hasn't seen her since. But she doesn't know for certain. She didn't really ask. And then the Parhan people were here that week, directly following.
Well, this is concerning.
Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to Barry and see if she knows anything about if the Lesotho got hurt on the mission is in the infirmary or something.
Well, I mean, I guess I could go check the infirmary.
Yeah, if you want to go do that, I'm gonna go find Barry. Yeah, let's not go worst case scenario just yet.
Right. I'll meet back up with you in an hour.
Yeah, before you guys start fully investigating this, let's just run through the rest of people's stuff for the week. We'll go to Ava next. Ava, what are you doing throughout the week? You finish up that Friday in your homeroom, and things are oddly quiet around campus. Like, you expected there to be some sort of stress revolving the church leaving, but you haven't heard a word since they left, and you know that they're not on campus anymore. So,
Because that's the first thing she would do.
yeah,
To make sure.
Loomis found you Friday. He finds you, the director of the school. He's this taller, lanky wizard with long white hair. He's kind of weird and erratic every time you interact with him. But one day you're walking around after homeroom, and he just shows up beside you. You didn't know he was there, and he's just like, "So, yes, I've decided you will live in Sarosh Hall. Because you will be a wizard."
A wizard?
Did you have any other ideas?
Yeah, I did. I think I'd be better at being a rogue.
No one wants to be a wizard these days.
Wizards are pretty cool, but I've never dabbled in
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
Yes, you will live in Xanthal with the rest of the rogues and the rangers. It's fine.
All right.
I'm disappointed. Anyway, he taps you on the shoulder and you guys teleport. You are inside Xanthal, walking through the hallways, and he approaches towards the end of the hallway, and he finds where Kieran's room used to be, and he just pops off the nameplate. He goes over to another room without nameplates on it. He sticks it on there, waves his hand over, and it changes from Kieran to Ava. He says, "This is an empty room. You can live here."
My own private.
Yes, roommate things were decided a long time ago, and I don't feel like remaking everything, so...
No, that's totally fine. She opens the door.
Prone to change. Anyway, good luck finding me if you need help, but that's probably your best bet. Goodbye, and he snaps and he disappears. So, Loomis has introduced himself. You are, like, throughout the weekend given a schedule, and you show up to classes, you meet some of your professors. The two rogue professors are very interesting. There is Professor Narath, who is a sort of cool devil-may-care-esque elven man. He has, like, very pale skin and dark hair. He is very chill. He's just kind of like, you guys have class. He tells you to do things. If you don't do them, he kind of shows you the right way to do it. And if you do it right, he's like, okay, cool, you can leave for the day. And then your other professor is Professor Gilnick. She's a goblin. She is really weird and interesting and likes to take things and then immediately give them back. So, you go to classes throughout a couple days, but what else are you doing on campus? How are you getting acclimated?
She's definitely exploring. She also wants to, she feels like a new sense of like freedom. Like, I can do what I want now and no one can stop me. So she's going to go to the library and look at like the magic books, how to, that, she couldn't ever look at back at home. And she wants to start trying to practice doing that kind of thing. And just training in general.
Yeah. You go to the library and you find a book that's just like over cantrips and stuff. It's basic practice for wizards who are studying, sorcerers or bards who are like honing their ability, even warlocks, like if you're trying to narrow down your powers into a specific cantrip. This book just covers a lot of them. I'll let you decide, like, which one are you looking at and attempting to practice? What sounds cool?
Just like the class or?
The cantrip.
Oh, so is Booming Blade a cantrip?
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
So you're looking over Booming Blade, you're like, okay, I use a weapon, I attack with it, and I like cover it with some magic, I hit something, and then if that something moves, it kind of like reverberates and deals extra damage to it. That's cool. Give me an Arcana check as you sort of like, even if you're not using an actual weapon in the library, you like start swinging stuff around and attempting to try this.
7.
7. You start swinging around like some of the pens and stuff that you have, and it has no effect. You're like, damn. Guess it's not that easy.
Well. She's gonna keep trying though.
Yeah. You keep messing around, you use your actual sword, not much is happening though. Not a lot of effect there. So you study a little bit of cantrips. What else are you doing around campus? You're walking around, some of the rogue classmates are like introducing themselves. You meet Delphina, who is a very short redhead. She tells you that you are not the coolest redhead in town. Be careful. She also specifies that you have to call her by her full name, Delphina Roselli Okadani. It's not Delphina.
I'm just never gonna address her. All right.
She says that's fine. But yeah, like just, I'll let you tell me anything else you want to do spending the week. If you want to hang out with some of the party members, up to you.
She's gonna try to get to know them a little bit more if they allow her to anyways. And one of the big things that she's going to do, because she can now do whatever she wants. And she's nervous about it, but she's going to stay out after dusk.
Well,
It's strange. It's weird. Sense of freedom is a little overwhelming, but
Yeah.
you are allowed to stay out after dark. It's fun. And I'll let you guys decide how open your PCs are to like interacting and talking to Ava. And we'll just cover that when we get there. But before that, Gwen, how are you spending your week?
Okay. Gwen's going to go to Thatch and see if he'll help her with the crystal she bought.
Hell yes. You go to Thatch's room. He is in his room. This is where Kieran used to live, so now he has full reign of it. You knock on the door, and this tiny little goblin man with these steampunk goggles opens it up and just goes, "Oh, hey, Blue Dragon Lady."
Thatch, you know my name. Come on, mate.
Yeah, I know, but Blue Dragon Lady is like so much more fun.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Go on, come in. And he waves you into the room.
Oh, okay. So I have this crystal I bought, and I was wondering if you could maybe help me put it in my bow.
You want me to put a crystal in your bow?
It's like on the card, because like they had cards when they were selling it. It said like it maybe imbue the magic that it has onto the item.
He just holds his hand up. He like sits at his desk, which looking around his room, his desk, the legs are just cut off. Like it is shortened down because he's a goblin. The beds are pushed together, and then you see that they've also been like extended upwards. Like the beds are close to the ground, but then there's a hammock strung up above it. He sits at his desk and he says, "You can take a seat in my office and hand me the thing."
Okay. Gwen sits down, but only hands him the crystal.
You hand him the crystal. He takes it down to his desk. He starts like poking at it. The electricity like starts staticking around his fingers. He kind of like touches it with like a metal tuning fork. He bites it once, and then it shocks him a little bit, and he just
You're
Yeah.
fine, mate.
No, that tasted really good. So listen, here's what I'm thinking. You said that you could use it to enchant something. If I spend some time with this, I'll have to go ask Professor Darton for help. But I think we could use this. Not the bow. I don't think wood would carry a static charge very well. But maybe your bowstring, if we added some like metal fittings to it.
Okay, because I guess I'm okay with that. One of the things I was concerned about was just like maybe fucking up my bow, and like it just I put this thing in it, it doesn't fucking work, and I just did all that to my bow for fucking nothing.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, your bow still just, it bows.
Yeah. I also just like, if there was a way where you could maybe like guide me to do this myself with my bow, unless you just touching a string, because I don't know, I don't really like other people touching my bow.
Okay. How about this? You give me your bowstring. I'll work on that. And if it doesn't work, I will buy you a new bowstring if I can keep the gem stuff.
Is there any concern of like, the string breaking? Because that happens.
Yeah, but if it does, I'll buy you a new one. Once I enchant it, it should be pretty fine. It should be strong.
Okay.
Enchantments tend to like hold things together and make them a little stronger.
Okay.
Okay.
Affect my bow weight?
No, it's just a string.
Okay. I don't know. You just said it made it stronger, so I don't know if that would like.
Well, yeah, it makes
I'd have to
like the
put
string.
muscle into, like pulling my bow back.
Yeah, it makes it more resilient. It's just harder to break, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, give it here.
Okay. Gwen takes the string off of her bow and gives it to Thatch.
He takes it. He sort of sets both of these into their individual pouches, sets them down, pulls out some paper onto his desk, and he's like, "Okay, this will take me a couple days. I have some homework that I got to finish up too. Tips are always appreciated, but I will have it done. Give me 3 days, and I'll check with Professor Darton and see what we can do."
Can I tip you in food?
I would love that.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I get out of my office, and he flips his goggles down and immediately starts taking out this crystal and like breaking pieces off of it.
Gwen leaves and she's just like, I wish I had a bed that big. And then after that, I guess like the thing with Ranth, if that's this week.
Yeah. I'll say let's switch back and forth. Let's go back to Rosaries and Leo.
Okay.
They're investigating this Lucilda situation, and then we'll also cover your meeting with Ranth. That'll be the last thing we do. All right, Rosaries and Leo. It is kind of almost midway through the week. It is probably Wednesday by this point. You guys are investigating into this Lucilda situation. Who do you go to? What resources do you use? Y'all guide me.
No, I think I would go to Barry as her, her party member, and Leo, I think it would be good if you either went to the infirmary or to Ranth.
Let me go to
Homeroom teacher.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the infirmary first, and then I'll go to Rain.
Sure. Both of you just give me a D20 you roll, and we'll see who goes first.
11.
Cool. I'll also let you guys decide if you want to try to rope in any of your party members to this. You are free to do so. It's not just stuck to you guys.
Yeah, I think Marcel is an excellent people finder, so we might try to rope him in.
Perfect. I rolled a 1.
You know what? Actually, I'm not sure Marcel would want to join us right now.
If you want to find someone who's literally a good person tracker.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I think we'll attempt to go after Marcel, and then if Marcel's dealing with this sword, we might let him have his alone time.
Yeah. Y'all just tell me. You are free to mess with time a little bit and say, like, hey, I'm going to go ask this person if they want to help me. Especially because it's like a week long. There's no real restriction on time other than it needs to be able to happen within a week.
I think I might ask Athir to go with me since Barry is usually with Kata. And Athir and Kata are roommates. So whenever I go to look for Barry, I'll try to do it whenever Athir is free.
Sure. Athira, if you want to join, you're free to do so.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you head up to Carnegie Hall, where a lot of these bards live. You go by Kata's room at some point, who is roommates with Athira. You find her at a good time. You say, like, hey, we wanted to ask you and Barry a couple questions. She's like, yeah, sure. You guys head down the hall. You pick up Barry. You hang out in one of the lounges. Kata and Barry both sit down and sort of look at each other. Kata sort of, like, nudges you, Rosaries, on the way as you guys are talking. She's like, it's about time. You've been too busy training. Stressed out about those Parhan church members being here.
Yeah, maybe, since one's joining my party, it's probably something to stress about.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it can't be too bad, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about this later, Kata.
Sure.
The thing about... go ahead.
You guys get to the lounge. She, like, plops down on the couch. Barry sits beside her, and then she looks over at Barry, and she's like, hey, I don't know what we're here to really talk about. Rosaries he's a little weird sometimes. It's fine. She looks over at you guys. She's like, all right, so what's up? What do you need?
Barry, when was the last time you saw Lucilda?
I saw her... Let me think. Let me do the math. We had homeroom together before everybody got sent out on their first missions. We didn't get sent out on one. We're actually being sent out on one either this upcoming weekend or the next. They have not fully decided yet what we're gonna do about that. I saw her that weekend too. She was talking to one of the upperclassmen guys walking around campus.
Do you know which upperclassman?
I don't know who he is, but he has like blonde hair. He's a little skinnier. Got like a weird look about him, like bright blue eyes, very sharp face. Is that an adjective? Sharp face?
Did he give you a weird feeling?
A little bit. He's got like a weird vibe to him. I thought it was weird that she was talking to him. I've never seen them together.
Okay. And that was the last time you saw her?
Yeah. I thought I'd see her that following week. Our party doesn't hang out all the time, but we do try to meet up and like eat lunch together or talk about our classes at least once a week, and I haven't seen her since then.
Yeah, neither is Beatrice.
Mm. It's kind of weird. I'm a little concerned.
Yeah.
Tato looks over at you guys and you're like, do you think she dropped out? I mean, typically she points at you and she's like, paladins aren't always the best at, classwork.
Yeah. I'm doing pretty well. No, funny you mentioned the prawn church, Kata, but she went missing about the time they showed up, so.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. Are you saying that they like kidnapped her or something? What would they want with her?
I don't know, Kata. What does the prawn church usually want? What do they usually do?
She thinks for a second. She's like, okay, yeah, it sounds like there's a little bit more gravity to the situation than I was giving it. Well, listen, we're in a school full of the smartest and most capable people ever. Why don't we just have someone, like, locate her? She points over to Barry and she's like, you literally have, like, and not the school's best, but, like, the first year's best wizard in your party. Why don't you guys just ask her to, like, locate her?
Barry, do you think that's possible? Or do I need to go to Isamithi?
She looks and she's like, I mean, yeah, Celia is really helpful. She would probably help us out if we just kind of tell her what we're doing, but I don't know how hard that would be. I don't know wizard spells. That's not my thing.
Okay. Yeah, y'all are fine. I'll look into it for you. And I think he'll get up, and Athero could probably tell, and Kata could probably tell, but probably not Barry. But Rosaris is really stressed out, and as he leaves, he just tells Kata, Kata, get back on mission, and then he'll ask Athero to go with him to Baron Tower, which we can do later.
Yep. You guys sort of disperse. Athera, you go back to the room with Kata, and she seems a little off-put, like almost irritated. And she just kind of, it's fine. I'm going to go read a little bit before I go to bed. And she heads out. Leo, you're going to the infirmary, correct?
Yes.
Cool. You going by yourself? You roping in someone else from the party? What's the plan?
For the infirmary, I'm going to go myself.
Cool. You go. We're saying infirmary. It's basically the nurse's office. There is Nurse Gladys there, who's like this older woman. She's very sweet. She works the front desk. She sees you come in and she's like, oh yeah, you're the one who came in with all those hurt people after those training sessions on Tuesday and Thursday. I remember you. What's going on? What can I do for you?
I'm actually looking for someone. Her name is Lucilda. I don't know if you've seen her here or not.
No, but I can check our records.
Sure, that'd be wonderful.
She starts looking through some of the files, and she says, last time she was here was about 2 weeks ago after one of y'all's training sessions. Other than that, I don't have any records of her getting checked in.
Interesting. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Of course, yeah. It's always good when someone's in good health, right?
Exactly.
All right, you have a nice day, sweetie.
Thanks. And Leo is going to leave now. And then I think the one. I think I'm gonna actually go get Gwen on this one. Maybe she can track her.
Sure. I mean, you show up. Well, where is Gwen at just on an average day after class?
The like cafe place.
Yeah, chilling, eating a bagel or something.
Yeah.
You hunt Gwen down. You look around campus. It's not super big. You eventually find her at one of these cafes. You take it from there.
I'm just gonna walk up to her. Gwen, what are you doing?
Eating.
Okay.
Why do you want to sit down?
Yeah, for a second. I need your help with something.
With what?
Do you remember Lucilda?
She's the one with like blonde hair or something, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Friends with the Saris.
Didn't she like
I know where she is. Yes. We're not talking about that.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
She hasn't
bad.
been seen in a week. And Rosaries and I are a little worried. And we're trying to find her. I don't know if you'd be able to track her somehow.
Do you know like what places she liked to frequent? You have like a spare boot of hers. You got something that maybe smells really bad of hers that I could maybe give.
I mean, I'm sure we could find something in her room if we were to go to Beatrice.
Are they roommates?
They are roommates.
I forgot about that. Okay.
Right. Also, we're going to run by my room real quick and check something too.
Okay.
Let's head to my room first and then we'll go see if we can get something from Beatrice for you to track it with.
You got something cool in your room?
She sent me a letter.
That's not really
We're going to go grab that. It could lead to something.
Okay.
All right. Let's go there first, and then we'll head over there.
Sounds
Head
good.
back to my room so I can grab this letter.
Yeah, you go back to your room. You open the door. Your roommate Sivik and his best friend Denny are like sitting and lounging in the room. Sivik is like leaning back in a chair with his feet propped up. Denny's like sitting on Sivik's bed reading a book. Sivik is currently like tossing a little illusory ball up in the air. He's been taking bard classes, so he's messing around with a little bit of magic now. You pop in and he like looks over to the side and this illusory ball like phases through his face and he's like, "Hey, what's up, dude? You haven't been in class, or not class, back in the room very often." Yeah,
If you're busy,
I
how's everything with you all?
imagine. It's great. Denny gives like a thumbs up and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting here practicing controlling some of these illusions and things. Apparently it's supposed to really help with, being able to do it at will, but it's just getting boring."
Do you not sleep in your room, Leo?
I do, but he's already asleep most of the time when I get there.
Yeah. Y'all are like training a lot from what I hear. I mean, I guess you guys did prove that your party was just better than everybody else. I don't know. But no, I'm just picking on y'all. No, but anyways, yeah, what's up? I mean, you're allowed to be in here, but you look like you're about to ask me a question.
I am. He's gonna walk over to his desk and grab this letter, and then he's gonna turn back and say, "Have you all seen Lucilda anywhere?"
Denny kind of looks up and shakes his head, and Sivik's like, "Is she the kind of like shorter, strong, beefy girl who dropped that note off?"
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that weekend that you guys were gone, she dropped it off.
Yeah. No one's seen her since then, and that's what worries me.
Then?
So we're trying to find her. If you guys hear anything or see anything, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep you updated. We live together. As long as you make it back before I go to sleep. I have a very strict bedtime.
No problem. And then I'm going to grab the letter and then head out with Gwen.
Cool. You guys exit the dorm building, go out into the campus itself. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to open up this letter and read it real fast.
You want me to read it back to you?
Yes.
Cool. Let me pull it up really quick.
So Gwen can hear it too.
Yeah, so you read it out to Gwen. Actually, I sent it to you. If you want to read it out to Gwen in Leo's voice, we'll be all in character about it.
Sure. All right. And this is what she wrote to me. She said, "Hey, Leo. I've been spending a lot of time outside of training thinking and meditating, praying to Quarteus and going over some of the stuff the church taught us. At the end of the day, protecting people is important, and no matter what, we should stand by that. I hope you are spending time in prayer too. I think that through all my exertion, training, and thought, I may have started to finally tap into what some people at the church talk about, like scratched out. Oh, yeah, like Zane, who is my brother. You should try it out, even if you aren't really doing the whole combat thing. If you want help, show up to the next religious club meeting. They're surprisingly cool, and Christina can help you. If not, next time there's a storm, go outside and really focus on it. Really feel it. You got this, buddy."
Did you go to the club meeting?
No, I didn't. But we're going there right now.
Okay. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe like there's a Quarteus place maybe she could be.
True. Do you want to sniff this letter or something?
Oh, I was joking about that. I'm not a dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
Sorry.
I took it literally. I'm sorry.
No. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
You could have had a theory she can turn into a dog.
Oh, I mean,
Really?
Maybe Zim can. I don't know.
He like
Ozymandias?
peeks out from behind your shoulder or like from out of your bag, like halfway asleep. Just, huh?
Can you like track things like a bloodhound? You give it a good old sniff.
He just looks at you with one of his eyes like half closed,
If I give you food, can you do that?
eyes fully open.
Okay.
He takes out the notepad that he keeps in your bag and he writes down, he says, "I can try."
Okay. Yeah. Give it a try.
You hand Zim the note. He sniffs it again, bites the corner of it, and then hands it back to you, and he hops out of the pouch. He looks back at you guys, making sure you're going to follow him.
Okay. I think he's got something.
all right, well, let's go.
He guides you guys through campus, and you guys pass through a bunch of different places. So you guys are outside. I'm trying to remember what building Leo lives in. I think it is Xanth Hall, if I remember correctly. You guys head up to the main academy building. He leads you through that and out into the courtyard, where all of the like different wings and academic places are with all the classrooms. He sniffs around, starts heading toward the west wing, and then turns and heads up toward the north tower. And then he stops right outside of the base of the north tower, where there are some buildings and classrooms that form, and then a tower comes out of the center of it. So he like stops outside of the buildings, and he sniffs the air and points in there.
Okay. Gwen's gonna try to open the door and see if it's open.
Yeah, I mean, the classroom doors are open. He goes through and starts sniffing, and then he follows it up and up and up, and he takes you guys to the third floor of the north tower, where you stop, and he sniffs, and then kind of just stops and shrugs a little bit.
Use it.
He just points at the ground.
It just stops here. All right.
All right.
Well, I guess we should look around.
Gwen gives it like Zim a piece of jerky as a reward.
He eats it, has a great smile on his face, and then crawls back into your bag and probably goes to sleep.
All right. Thank you. So this, I guess, is maybe the last place where she could have been.
I'm gonna look around on the ground to see if there's anything that would indicate she's been here.
Sure. Give me an
Like magic?
investigation check.
Oh, I do have that, I think. Wait, let me see if it's prepared. 13.
13 investigation. You look around and sadly, there's nothing that sticks out to you. You can't really see anything that would give away whether or not she's been here. There's like a little bit of scuff on the ground from just the people walking in and out every day. There's nothing that stands out, and what you would be looking for, like footprints and things like that, it's too muddled to catch anything.
All right. And then now I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Cool. You cast Detect Magic, and the entire building lights up.
What's fuck? What happened?
This whole building is magical.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I will say, Detect Magic allows you to differentiate between different sources of magic, but you get a general vibe that this entire building is magical. It was probably made with some magic to like reinforce it or something. But then also like some of the decorations on the walls are magical. Some of the locks on the doors are magical. And it's based on eyesight. So like as long as you can see something, you can determine if it's magical or not.
Yeah. Is there anything magical on the ground?
No. Other than like the floor itself.
Are any of like the floor pieces loose?
I'm not going to make you roll an investigation check. You could test all of them, and nope, they are all pretty solid.
Okay.
Well, shit.
Is there any like doors nearby?
Yeah, I mean, there's the doors to classrooms and offices. There's like 1 or 2 storage rooms on this floor.
Check them all.
Okay, I don't know about all of this.
The storage rooms and offices are all locked. You guys are going like a little later in the day, so the teachers have all gone home. All their offices are locked. The classrooms, one of them is open, so you open it and look in, but nothing stands out. The only magical things are like a quill that is used to take notes. The board up at the front is magical and will like write down people's words. But you're not noticing anything out of the ordinary.
Well, I guess the only other thing to do is check with the religious club and Christina.
Okay. At least we have that for now.
Sure.
It'd still lead to something.
Sure. All right. You said it's pretty late in the day.
Yeah, it's getting like it's past dark at this point. It's probably like 8 or 9 p.m.
All right. I wouldn't imagine that the religious clubs are active at the moment.
Probably not.
I guess we'll... let's go grab food, and then we can call it, and we'll touch base with Rosaris.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that all of you who are participating in this sort of investigation, Leo and Gwen, you guys go to one of the cafes on campus, and eventually Rosaris and Athera, if you'd like, you guys all meet back up there and can share whatever you'd like.
Where do we meet?
At one of the cafes, Nura House, probably.
All right. I guess I'm gonna... Do I see Rosaris where he is?
Yeah, you guys all come in and like meet together.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna walk up to Rosaris. Anything on your end?
The last person she was seen talking to is Reggio, the weird guy from the training session.
Interesting.
I'm going to talk to Aaron sometime later this week to see if he can cast a fancy spell to locate her.
No, that's brilliant. I got a letter from her right before we went on mission. talking about the religious clubs in Christina. So I guess that's the next place that we're going to check. But other than that, it's dead end trail.
Well, trail is in like a literal trail, because we found like a smell trail that Ozymandias followed into the North Tower of whatever hall that was. What is it, Leo? You live there, don't you? I don't know.
What was it, Van?
I don't know, you tell me.
I'm gonna say yes. That's it.
So we have that at least. She could have been there last and now magically disappeared, but we didn't really find any weird magic stuff.
Well, paladins generally don't have the ability to magically go somewhere.
Unless she like ascended or something. I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I don't fucking know. I'm just guessing.
Do you guys have any like assumptions or guesses of what would have happened based off of what we've learned?
No.
Well, the two clues we have, he has Christina, I have Reggio. They're both trying to impress the Parhan Church.
Would it be worthwhile?
Back.
Would it be worthwhile to talk to Ava? Maybe see if we can get information out of her that she'd know anything about this?
We could.
Is there anyone that didn't like Lucilda?
The Parhan Church generally doesn't like the Cortean Church.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about that stuff. So,
Good. Maybe Athera and Gwen, you can go talk to Ava and see if Marcel's up for it. He seemed out of it again. That sword's trying to eat my sword still. Leo.
you go in his room and he's just like foaming up the mouth. Eyes rolled back in his head. What do we do then?
Maybe.
Well, both of you know healing spells, so you might do that.
Do I?
Ian,
I don't think I do.
well,
Nope, I don't. Just double checked. Sorry, mate.
or nature casters, y'all are fine. Me and Leo can go talk to Professor Barron at some point.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go to bed.
Probably a good idea.
You guys wind down the night, sharing the information amongst the group. The mystery still sort of at hand. No idea where Lucilda is. You have a couple of straws to grasp at here. Ava has, I'm going to say at this point, like, talked to you guys a little bit and made herself known, but you guys haven't had any, like, strong interactions together yet. But the big thing looming on your minds is your next mission. You guys are supposed to go talk to Professor Rykor and leave out by this weekend, and it is currently Wednesday. So, if you guys are going to leave and go on time for that mission, the latest you're going to want to leave is Friday, if not tomorrow, Thursday after class. So, we will leave it off there and pick up from there next week.